here with the second slip up of what day it is. It is Tuesday morning. Bill Gunner, Patrick Brett, we are out here again at Bojangles. You can come join us 11:30 Bluff Road here. You can stop by, pick up some breakfast if you want to stop in and say hello. We might have some giveaways for you. We do ask you bring a non-perishable food item as we give away to Harvest Hope Food Bank this morning is doing that. And again, maybe you can even come by and check out the new Bo's Chicken Sandwich. It is a juicy chicken breakfast marinated in a secret blend of bold spices, hand-breaded, crispy, crunchy buttermilk coating, topped with 2 thick-cut dill pickles and creamy mayo, served on a toasted, buttery bun. That is, might have to have one of those at some point.
Yeah, I think we will. I'm pretty sure we will.
It's the new Bo's Chicken Sandwich, the best one that is out there. You can come by today and pick one up. We got a lot going on. Again, you can join us on the Buford Lending live stream. Jen Jensen is back in studio. She gets a free morning without the chipmunks running around creating problems in there. She is having a blast, having it all to herself. We are out again at the Bojangles, 11:30 Bluff Road here, and we will be here from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. If you are out and about, come on by and say hello. So we've got a lot going on, Patrick, as we count down now the hours until Saturday night, 7:30, Williams-Brice Stadium. And today, Shane Beamer will meet with the media, and we will transition from, man, great win over Auburn, way to get bowl eligible, to, all right, what are you going to do to win this particular football game Saturday night against Clemson and snap this losing streak that takes place?
I've never been to the Tiger Burn. Do you go every year when you were a student? Is that a thing to do?
I've been. It's been years. I mean, it's been.
How long has it been going? Forever?
As far as I know, yeah, maybe some people are a little bit more familiar with the exact history of the Tiger Burn, but it's been
pretty fun.
Yeah, I haven't been since I was maybe in single digits, so we're talking 30 years there. So it's been quite a while. Yeah. The Tiger Burn gets going last night. Patrick, the biggest thing is we'll carry through. We'll be on tomorrow. We're all Thursday. We're all going to do Thanksgiving with the families, the respective families, and then we'll be back Friday. But as we start to transition to South Carolina and Clemson now, and again, Shane Beamer, you'll hear him right here on 107.5 today about 1:15 when he does his usual Tuesday press conference. But as we start to transition away from the great Auburn victory over to the next set of Tigers, Jason Brown, 10 of 15 on Saturday night, this past Saturday night. I don't know what you necessarily expect from him or how we would grade him. Let's just start with previous through 3 games now. We have a sample size to go off of 3 games. I'm kind of impressed with what I've seen for a guy that I didn't know what we would get. I had zero clue what we would get going into the Florida game.
So if we want to play the letter grade game, B minus?
I think that's very fair. I'd actually probably go with a B. I don't know if I throw the minus in there. I think even against Missouri, I did not think that he was right. Yeah, he was pressured. I thought that he made some good plays. Obviously, trying to spin out of the pocket in the manner that he did, but he learned from it and seemed to bounce back last week against Auburn. I saw him step up in the pocket multiple times and make some plays. So it looks like he's developing a little bit each and every week into a guy that I don't know if you think is going to go out there and win you the football game, but is going to be competent enough to not lose you the game.
I was thinking, I think B's fair because I was thinking, would you throw that bad interception? But he did put it very quickly. That was in the second drive right after Auburn scored. It was a bad pick, and I was thinking you only threw 15 passes and one of them was a bad pick, but also you threw 10 completions, 3 of them were touchdowns. So, I mean, you have to give that to him. And I guess there was nothing special really about the Trey Jones touchdown other than it was a big man catching it. But the Josh Finn, there was a high degree of difficulty on that throw. We talked about it yesterday. Going across the body, it takes some real arm power to do that. The Josh Finn touchdown against Missouri was a really impressive throw, dropping it over the top. We have made some plays. I think we're a little – I was thinking a lot about the rolling out and it being really obvious that was kind of his move, rolling away from himself, and Missouri was onto it. And that was really a big key to Missouri slowing down South Carolina. But, yeah, I mean, I think he's played well. I don't know The question is, how does he have to have a great game to beat Clemson, or can he continue the status quo? I don't think you're going to be able to run the ball like you were able to run it against Florida, or really against Auburn to like kill clock in big moments. Clemson they're not going to give that up. They have grown men. It'll be the best defensive line they've played all season, or at least since not all season, since Georgia probably. Is that accurate?
I at least the best since at least Texas A&M. A&M was very good, and Georgia obviously is the best in the country. There's no question about that. I think what you're looking at here, you're right.
They're going to do a couple special throws.
To me, it's what does Marcus Satterfield do with him? Because I really believe that you're going to see Clemson come out and have the same game plan that they had against Wake Forest, which is just blitz, send everybody, make Southland's offensive line, take away the run. It's going to have to be throws to the perimeter early because I don't think he's going to have time to stand back there and throw the deep ball. I don't think you're going to have time to get guys down the field to throw a pass.
Do you think they'll prepare for Carolina or attack Carolina the same way as Wake Forest? Because I think part of that was Wake Forest has a great quarterback, Sam Hartman, and they just felt like they needed to get in his face. Do they feel like they need to bring pressure all the time, or do they feel confident that they can just stop the run with a normal box and they can just sit back and make Jason Brown beat you with his arm? I mean, you think that's not going to be part of it?
No, I think Clemson comes after him early. I think Clemson comes
because
out.
They can win their. I mean, they also know that they can win their one-on-one matchups. Like, you think Miles Murphy's not going to beat turns on every rep, basically?
I do think that you're right. 4 versus 5 there. Although again, Southland's offensive line has stepped up at times. Again, I wouldn't say step. I say I was going to say there was a few more times because he did get sacked, but at the end of the day, to me, Clemson comes out and absolutely attacks Jason Brown and the offensive line, and that's how you go about. Because if you South Carolina, if you try and run into the teeth of that defense, you try and run into blitz. I think it becomes kind of difficult. And then also as he drops back, you just apply pressure and you hope to force a big turnover from him. 803-404-6100. We'll continue to talk about that this morning. If you want to weigh in, the Love Chevy phone lines or the Cool Care Heating and Air text line. Gene asked this morning, will Brown be back next year? He should be. I mean, he's not an NFL player right now. He's got a lot of developing to do, but yeah, he should be. He does have the extra year of eligibility. Anonymous Raj on the Cool Care Heating and Air text line lets us know that he came to school in 1989. He was young back then. Raj was very young back then, and he says Tiger Burn was old then. So Tiger Burn's been around for a while. You can weigh in that way this morning as well. 803-404-6100. Again, you can also hop on the Cool Care Heating and Air text line is how you can get in touch with us, or on the Buford Lending live stream this morning and hop in and weigh in. Let's get out to the Love Chevy phone lines, though. We wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't get to Gamecock Larry to start the program and bring that jolt of energy that we've become accustomed to and love. Gamecock Larry, how you doing this morning? Hey. Now we do. We hear you. Yeah. Hey, good to hear from you this morning.
Dave Murray kicks out Devin. The South nails the three. It's down 5. Inbound at 26. Chris Paul catches the inbound. Surefire lays it in. Now we got a one possession game, and there's 15 seconds left. For the Warriors, Jay Crowder is continual on runs in inbound the ball by Booker, but he gets tied up by 2 strong defenders. We get just like it should be. It's hard. Off the bench, Booker corrals it. He's fouled. He drains one of them despite the last goal. CPR finished there. Suns won 15-11. So the streak now is 30.
Oh, he's going for somebody's money bright and early. That's a tough way to That's a tough way to start a Tuesday on the Gamecock Larry.
Way to start a Tuesday on the
Gamecock Larry. Hope you're doing good. Good to hear from you out there. Let's stay on the Love Chevy phone lines. Jim is up next. Jim, how you doing this morning? What's on your mind?
We are on location at Bojangles.
We are on location at Bojangles. I have 3
Bowberry biscuits and a cinnamon biscuit.
Bowberry biscuits and a cinnamon biscuit. We got coffee. We've got. I really cannot complain at all.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
Come on. But English on that one. Super Bowl champions have Kevin Hart.
Happy holidays. Lexus. Get $1,500 lease cash for 2022 RX 350.
Every time I eat stuff, I play this song.
Appreciate the phone call, Jim, and yeah, come join us. Come join us. A lot of good thoughts. So yeah, the blitzing. We'll get into more of that South Carolina's offense versus the Clemson defense, because I think that might be what a lot of people are most interested to see and how it plays out. 803-404-6100 if you want to weigh in this morning on the Love Chevy phone lines or on the Cool Care Heating and Air text line. Again, Bill Gunner, Patrick Brett, we are live from the Bojangles on Bluff Road, just within the shadow of Williams-Brice Stadium. You come down and pick up some breakfast on your way into work, or if you want to get your Tuesday morning off on a great start, you can come down, hang out, and we will put you on the air as well. It's Patrick Brett, Bill Gunner. We are at the Bojangles, 1130 Bluff Road here in Columbia. Come by and visit us this morning. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Some things can't be out of the home. With Capital One, possibilities are unlimited. Introducing Venture X.
All right, so I guess mine just has to be jacked way up.
I guess. But it wasn't like that when we were at
When I do it on mine, it's not like that.
well, when we were told.
I don't think it was.
Mike, walk it out.
Or what? It's fine.
You are quite you. I like how you're quite the engineer. Did you turn it up? That was the very first one you tried.
To be honest though, when I was living in Jersey, I was the assistant here. So
Well, there you go. So that's where that hot first idea. Did you turn it up?
it was either that or unplug it.
So you guys will have to chronicle what you're having for breakfast.
Yeah.
Bringing you two best flavors for Apple Warm Smoked Texas Cut Bacon, atop Church's own white meat chicken sandwich. Say hello to a match made in Cleveland. Have Church's Cut Bacon chicken sandwich. Church's, bringing that.
I know. Should we try and be getting on Boj Ops?
They're like private lines.
I don't know if that'd be any better.
To be honest, neither do I.
The same thing.
Well, they can't go within 20 left. This is what a good time. Way too much of a good time.
Jerry. Fox Girl Forever.
You know, I can't even handle any of that. I can maybe handle one.
Yeah, well,
How were you able to wake up?
no, I only had 5, but I took out $200 for some gambling. So I had to,
The golf turkeys?
yeah.
That's what I was, because I looked at it a few minutes ago.
I forgot I did that because I wasn't good. I didn't have a cash. So I know.
Yeah.
So I just looked at
For only 5 drinks of house bourbon.
Yeah, good time.
very high profile stuff.
Was there a Manning cast last night, Bill?
Huh?
Was there a Manning cast last night?
I don't think so. I didn't see much talk about one.
No, you know what? There was one. Because I remember seeing Condoleezza Rice was on it.
I couldn't do anything about going in and logging in.
Right. That was necessary. That was necessary. I needed to refuel.
Good. Which one is on? You got yours on?
They're both on. Should probably mute one.
Yeah, we'll get for the live streamers. We'll get people here. You might want to say on the. We'll get the Jen. Huh?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we'll get Jen to go in the studio and
log in there.
That's very good here.
Okay.
turn
I'll
on
go in there.
the log into the computer.
Okay. Can you guys hear me? Most bad thing in the world. Not gonna lie.
Mason new contract. Mason Hill's like, yo, y'all should come get some of this money. He's going to make $40 million over the next 4 years if he remains the Saints' backup QB, running back, wide receiver, tight end. But he could make up to $95 million if he becomes the Saints' starting QB over the next 4 years. He was scheduled to become a free agent after this season.
Yeah. When we start, we go out and just turn on the car and just see how bad the audio is or how low it is. Somebody else just said it's hard to hear us, so I don't know.
Just Patrick?
Somebody later said
It said I was peaking, which meant my voice was strong.
Yeah.
This person just said, we got it. Patrick's turned all the way up. Mine,
mine's
overmodulated.
I don't know why. Is it plugged in all the way?
Oh, is it on mic level?
Huh?
On
Yeah,
mic
that's right.
or line? That's right.
Is that for the return or the output?
That's right. It's plugged in correctly. It's the same as it was when we were at Charwood. Nothing. I mean, that didn't do anything other than just me making sure.
Points, the largest lead in franchise history. Led by the Committee, it's 51. Now they're going to end up with 12 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds.
I guess
Bill Gunner, Patrick Perrette. We are live at the Bojangles on Bluff Road, 1130 Bluff Road. We can look over and almost see the stadium. You can come by and join us this morning. Your tailgate headquarters. You can go ahead and put that order in for a big bow box of an 8, 12, or 20-piece chicken along with the fixings and Bojangles' legendary iced tea to enjoy as you watch the game. It's the perfect dinner for the family or the food for your tailgate with friends. You can pick one up at a Bojangles. It is bow time as we sit out here. The lovely, beautiful Gamecock wrapped Bojangles here, 11:30 Bluff Road. You can come by this morning. Patrick, you in the break, you inhaled a Cajun filet biscuit.
Yeah, biscuit.
That biscuit never had a chance.
It was probably 30 seconds.
Yeah, it just. But I've started on one over here to my right. We got some coffee going. We got the biscuits. We got to get 2 Bowberry biscuits in front of us, a cinnamon biscuit,
We're about ready to go.
sausage biscuits. So we are up and running this morning. Hope you are doing well also. 803-404-6100. And again, back to what we're kind of discussing at this point. South Carolina offensively, Patrick, I think that's the big question. Clemson will pick up yards. They're going to score some points. The question will be how potent are they offensively? But I think the bigger question, as we see here on Tuesday morning at 6:33, is can South Carolina move the ball against Clemson? And how do you go about handling some of the blitzes and the pressure that they elect to bring? I'm of the opinion South Carolina early on has to make it a perimeter game. Get the ball out on the perimeter, maybe some quick screens, some tunnel screens, getting guys out of the backfield and trying to take away the pressure that Clemson, I think, will bring early on.
Yeah, that's what it's going to have to be. I mean, you're going to have to get rid of the ball quick on every play because you're not going to scramble against these guys. They're too good of athletes, especially the Clemson defense. You're not going to just escape these guys outside the pocket. It's going to have to be quick hitters. I mean, the running game's going to have to work. That's the problem. For Jason Brown to be successful, the running game's going to have to be there to implement. It's got to alleviate some of the stress, and you're going to have to run into probably crowded boxes, but you're just going to have to be stubborn with it. And I think ultimately it's going to be the South Carolina defense that's going to keep them in this game and give them an opportunity to win. So I think Jason Brown doesn't have to be superhuman. He'll have to make a couple big-time plays. He'll probably have to stare down a blitz and deliver a ball under pressure. But, I mean, that's just going to be the way it is.
Well, and again, I think as the game goes along, what you're going to end up getting is Jason Brown having to make a few plays, especially in scrambling. Now, we talked about that. He made some against Florida. That was kind of what everybody really talked about was the 2 plays where he was able to make kind of scroll.
It's never going to be as easy as the Josh Fan touchdown in the back of the end zone against Florida.
No, and it's not. And look, last week he didn't have to make any particular scramble plays against Auburn. But against Clemson and those linebackers, I think you're going to have to see more of that early on, especially trying to establish. There's going to be a lot of energy in that football stadium early on. There's going to be that is going to, I expect, a very fun environment Saturday night to start the ball game. There's going to be a lot of energy, and I think it's also going to be kind of interesting to see how Shane Beamer's team handles it. Will Muschamp's teams never seem to play well at night. Muschamp made a comment early on his tenure about he gets so revved up, they got to keep him away from the team. One thing, say what you want about Florida and say what you want about Auburn, I get it. And even the Kentucky game, South Carolina seems to emotionally be in control early on. I know they got down Saturday night against Auburn, but they seem to emotionally be in control and not trying to do something.
Which is not how they started the season as well. Because that's what we were saying about them early on, was that they were undisciplined.
Yeah, I mean, again, they were undisciplined, but I don't think that was almost an emotional thing for them. I think it had more to do with just bad play, flat bad plays there.
The taunting is emotional.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what it is.
But I think with everything that can take place, how South Carolina handles the early emotion. Clemson is, even though there's injuries and backups are playing different guys, I think what you end up getting early on is a South Carolina team that I'm interested to see how they're prepared and how they handle the first 10, 15 minutes of this football game, and if they can try and avoid the big mistake that knocks them out. South Carolina, at times we've seen them struggle, but against Florida they came out, they handled it well. And I know Auburn got up again, but I thought South Carolina handled the early emotions of the game pretty well.
That's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be playing mistake-free is important. You can't feel desperate to make a play in the first quarter if, it's a touchback, you get no yardage on the first play, it's 2nd and 10, you give up a sack or something. If it's third and 15, don't feel like you have to get it. Be ready to punt. Kai Kroger has been really good. Don't be afraid to punt, I think, is going to be the story of the first quarter, because I do think that was what I would attribute that first interception against Auburn. I guess the only interception against Auburn was he just felt like he needed to make a play. Just felt like he needed to make a play, keep South Carolina in the game, get a thing tied up, and just deliver the bad ball into traffic. So don't be afraid to let your defense keep you in the game, I think is going to be an important part of this, especially if it doesn't feel like, there very well could be 3 and outs, run pass, and you're passing at a 3rd and 9 because you just can't get anything going on the ground. Just keep being stubborn with the run game, and don't feel like you need to get it all back at once. Don't feel like it's 3rd and 9, we need to get 30 yards here or anything like that. Just let your defense keep you alive.
803-404-6100. You can weigh in. Cool Care Heating and Air text line. Papa Joe weighs in, says, "Hey guys, the other 2 times we went up against elite defenses, we got smashed. That would be Georgia and Texas A&M, maybe some others. What do you think will make this game different? Do you think Satterfield will come up with a creative game plan to slow down the rush?" Well, one, I don't. Clemson is an elite defense. In their current state, I think they are a good defense. They're missing some guys, but I don't think that they are an elite defense with their current setup. They're missing some guys that they really need. I think that's number one. 2, and this is an interesting part also about this game. South Carolina, for whatever reason, has been able to just perform better at home. They've been awful on the road. And so as Joe brings up on the Cool Care Heating and Air text line, you look at those Texas, you look at that Georgia game, Texas A&M game, throw in the East Carolina game where they weren't particularly sharp on the road early on.
Kentucky dominated on defense. I mean, Kentucky has pretty good defense.
Yeah, but South Carolina's offense. I mean, look, I do think, not that I think South Carolina's a lights-out offense all of a sudden. It's going to go marching up and down the field like the 2000 St. Louis Rams. But I think being at home versus, especially here late in the season, they seem to just have found something that's a little bit better at home than we've seen them be on the road. I do think that there's something to that makes this game a little bit closer than the 11-point spread would suggest.
Who is the Clemson defense missing besides Reese carrying his ACL? I mean,
they got Skalski back.
Yeah, aren't they pretty much back at full strength?
There's another defensive tackle whose name eludes me at the second, who's now out with a season-ending.
Tyler Davis still playing, right?
We should probably check on that.
I mean, Clemson people, just tell us. I didn't watch the Wake Forest game. We were tailgating for the South Carolina.
You were getting ready.
We did not see it.
You were getting.
But who are them? I mean, I know they have lots of injuries. Justin Ross is out. Will Taylor's hurt. And the offense has been more banged up than the defense, hasn't it?
I think it's both sides. Both sides have been banged up. B from Columbia weighs in on the Cool Care Heating and Air text line and says, "Do we think after the Florida and Auburn game that Marcus Satterfield has uncomplicated his offense? I'm hopeful that Beamer has dropped the hammer so that Satterfield doesn't revert back to how he has game planned and called the other 9 games this season." I don't.
It's been 3 weeks of polar opposites though. You had a great game plan against Florida, completely went away from it against Missouri, and then got back to doing what you do well against Auburn.
Offensively, they weren't awful against Missouri. 28
but it wasn't
points.
What they did to be successful against Florida. You didn't see the fullback in there.
Well, what Missouri did is what I fully believe that Clemson's going to. They blitzed. They brought a lot of pressure on top of the offensive line, and quite frankly, the game plan. That's where the game plan wasn't ready to handle the pressure, and that's where things have got to be fixed this coming weekend, because you can't allow Clemson to get downhill. James Skalski is very ready to go in this game. I think it's his 27th Carolina Clemson game overall. He's been up there for 28 years. He redshirted his freshman season and then played 27 straight against South Carolina. But he's still around, and he's a guy that creates a lot of havoc. He's the emotional leader of that defense. That's the guy. You get him playing downhill and he starts blitzing. That's where South Carolina's going to get the ball out on the perimeter with quick screens or running. And I don't mean the Zaquandre White up the middle to the left play.
Yeah.
On the screen. You got to get the ball out very quickly within 2 to 3 seconds before Clemson can get to Jason Brown on Saturday night.
Yeah, that's just and Skalski. I mean, he's a presence in the middle. So the quick slant game could be a problem. I mean, he's also who was it that he decapitated a couple of weeks ago? Why am I forgetting? It was a super dirty play. I guess this was when you were out. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where he got ejected for targeting, then was allowed back in the game.
Pittsburgh would be the game.
It was Pittsburgh, yeah. So you're gonna have to be careful about that. I don't know. You're just gonna have to be creative. I'm not so sold that Clemson's just gonna be bringing pressure all day long. Like I do feel that Clemson has confidence that just man oh man they're better than South Carolina and they dare Jason Brown to beat them in some way, shape, or form. I just don't know that it's gonna be 8 guys blitzing at all times. I mean, how good is this Clemson secondary? Do they feel like they're just gonna lock up and it's gonna be no big deal? Because their line, I mean, James Skolsky and this defensive line, if you just keep guys free, like he's going to make lots like they're confident in both those linebackers.
Yeah, I feel like South Carolina fans are ready to see Skolsky move on. He is the heir apparent to Ben Boulware and followed Boulware, and now you got Skolsky. To answer your question, yeah, you talked about one-on-one matchups. You mentioned Miles Murphy earlier. I do think that that's an area where Clemson looks at it and says, yeah, outside of Josh Vann, our defensive backs should be able to win every one-on-one matchup that we go against with the South Carolina wide receivers. Anonymous texter, thank you, says Trey Williams was who I was trying to think of, had season-ending surgery after the Wake Forest game, and is the one that is out. Yeah, Joseph Nagata and E.J. Williams with the offensive side. Obviously, a lot of wide receivers there are struggling and out for.
Which is why South Carolina's defense should be able to play well. I don't know that Clemson's just unlocked something because they scored a lot of points against Wake Forest in their offense.
No, Wake Forest defense is struggling. Look, South Carolina's defense has been, I guess you'd say, opportunistic. Again, they gave up a lot of yards on the ground to Tank Bigsby last week. But the fact that they were able to hold Auburn to 3 points after the first quarter, yeah, you gave up a lot of yards. There was the big 4th and 16 conversion there by Auburn, and there was another big pass play there coming out of the end zone.
We didn't even talk about that. That was horrible.
The 4th and 16.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but the bottom line is South Carolina was able to find a way to stop. Look, one of it was a very short missed field goal, but South Carolina again, and that's why maybe opportunistic is the right way to describe it. 803-404-6100. Bill Gunner, Patrick Perrette is we're out here at the Bojangles 1130 Bluff Road this morning. If you stop by, bring a non-perishable food item. You can drop it off. Thank you to whomever just stopped by and dropped off a bag of them. We appreciate that. Patrick brought several to take care of he and I forgot to bring any, but you can make up for that. Peas and carrots. Bring some non-perishable food items out here again as we are hanging out at the Bojangles, the Gamecock wrapped Bojangles. We're enjoying a nice Cajun filet biscuit. Patrick's got some Bojangles coffee. We are up and rolling on a Tuesday morning. You're listening to the early game. Bill Gunner, Patrick Perrette, Jen Jensen back in studio here on 107.5 The Game.
What does the future hold for the New York Giants? It's everyone underneath John Mara. Where does it go from?
Just very distracted. Just everything going on.
What's your name?
Gary West.
Gary? Okay.
I've been coming to games over 50 years. I'm a graduate university. I spent 35 years in the media, and I'm a professional singer, entertainer, actor now.
Okay. Yeah, give us just a second. We're just
going
wanting
to fight some games fast. This has the atmosphere to be like the '87 Rodney game. It's going to be cold.
Okay.
We're going to be drinking a lot of liquor. It is.
We'll have about 2 minutes, so yeah, we'll get to you when we come back here. That won't be a problem.
I get all my tickets in the crowd too. I've been doing this 50 years.
Okay.
I go to sellout games all over the country. I've been living here, but I'm getting on the road down head for Miami. I may not be for the game.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm glad you showed up.
I only work is literally right down the street. We're gonna put them in here.
Yeah, we can put them right in there. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Take it easy.
How are you? Did you have to drive back?
No.
Somebody told me you did.
No, we had to drive to St. Louis to fly.
Oh, I mean, I drove to Columbia. I was like
You drove to
2 hours.
Columbia? 12? So what it took?
I mean, from Columbia to
Columbia?
Kansas City, and then we drove back.
Oh, you flew into Kansas City. I think it's 2 hours, right?
Yeah, it's 2 hours.
That's
Which
what
was
they say.
nice.
It's like
Kansas
2 hours
City
from
was really
there.
nice.
Never been. I didn't even get to see St. Louis at all. I didn't even get to see the Arch.
We got into Kansas City like 11 or 12 o'clock on Friday. We went and ate some good barbecue.
We did not get it. Dude, when we left, our flight got delayed until 10 p.m. Missouri time. So we sat in the St. Louis airport for 9 hours on Sunday. It was actually like a terrible weekend because we didn't get in until like 9 o'clock on Friday night and then had the game and then spent 9 hours in the airport.
No, I'm with you on that. It was cold.
Yeah, it was really cold.
I don't think I expected it to be that cold.
Well, I was not prepared for it. I didn't bring any headwear or anything that was going to keep me warm.
There was like a little Walmart, right there in Columbia, Missouri. I went to. I went and bought like.
I don't think I'm ever going back.
Is it that cold?
Oh yeah, I went and bought thermals and all this stuff. And
I will never go back. I'll never go back to Columbia, Missouri. Yeah, that whole scene sucked. Where we were watching like the Tiger Walk, I was looking around, I was like, this place is ugly.
Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, I think like until we had gotten like right there in front of the stadium where there was like, I don't know, like a row of people who were tailgating, it was pretty, it was pretty lame the entire time. We had to park in a parking deck. Like that's where they were like, here, yeah, you guys, the only place that you guys can go to park is in this parking deck right here. And we were like.
The only good part was that the people were incredibly friendly.
Oh yeah, they were.
Some of the nicest fans I've ever been around. But unless that's the only thing you've ever seen, like I don't know how that would impress you as a college football fan. You went to the game, right?
Yeah, I went in.
Brutal crowd, just.
Yeah, we were. So you were kind of like towards the middle, or
yeah, I switched sides. I switched sides halfway through.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sat in that far section where I guess all the Carolina fans were together. And as soon as you got in the stadium, you were in the shade. It was freezing cold.
Yeah, it was brutal.
So I pretty much, after a while, I just pretty much went inside the concourse and tried to drink as much hot coffee and hot chocolate as I could because I was cold. Plus the game was pretty good.
And the lines, I mean, that was a good thing. You get served in 5 seconds, whatever you wanted.
Yeah, the food wasn't bad either.
They had a roast beef sandwich that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What time you got to be at work?
Be at work is a loose term. I do outside sales, so I don't really have to
really
clock in.
that I have to do anywhere. But I don't really have to do anywhere at a particular time. But my office opens at 6.
Do we know if we're going to have no time coming back or what?
Jen, about how much time coming back?
Yeah, I have just a couple of minutes. Yeah, about almost 3. You can't hear me when I talk into the live
Do
stream.
you test this thing?
No, I think if one of us cut the, I think if what it,
You can test this.
yeah, if we want to get, all right, we're gonna have a guest here.
Yeah.
Cool.
We can do. Start Clemson show.
Oh wait, not him. We're gonna let Gary talk
Here,
first. There's still a line. There's still a line.
Good. I'm gonna go order some food.
All right, you can open the set. Test.
You hear that, Jen?
All right. Yes. Ready?
Those are
Yep.
levels. Oh wait. Test. You got? You hear it, Bill?
I can hear you.
How's
I
it
can
going?
hear you. You sound good. You sound good. Yeah.
Test.
Gunner Patrick Perret out here. Bojangles, 11:30 Bluff Road this morning, getting some breakfast. This afternoon, 4 to 7 p.m. You can join Heath Klein as he broadcasts live from the Loose Cockaboose, just down the street from here, 936 South Stadium Road in Columbia. We'll be collecting donations for Harvest Token. Food bank there as well. The Listening Kitchen and the Loose Cockaboose thank everyone for their support in donating canned goods to Harvest Hope. 803-404-60-100. How you can weigh in this morning. Clean Care Heating and Air Line or the Love Shipping phone line. We've got a guest here, Gary West, who stopped by, who's joined Breakfast of the Zone. He's been around for about 50 years, what he said. Been going to games across the country for 35. You think it's got a chance to be a really good atmosphere on Saturday night?
Oh, I think it's going to be fantastic.
Beamer ball is really instilled a lot of excitement in Gamecock fans and Gamecock players. And I think the Gamecocks have a big psychological advantage, but Clemson, since they don't have a chance for the national championship game, it's going to be hard for them to get up, even though it is a South Carolina game. So there's a big psychological advantage, and I think the Gamecocks can run the ball and get some turnovers. I think they have a really good shot at defeating the Tigers.
You've been going. You said you've been around. You've been to a lot of great atmosphere. You thought that this has a chance to be similar to the 1987 atmosphere.
It could be like the 1987 famous Rodney game. We were drinking Irish whiskey and liquor. We took a quart of Jack Daniels in the East Stands that day, and we were pretty warm, and it was super exciting. And probably the most exciting Carolina Clemson game I went to was in the '84 game. And as you know, Mike Cole pulled that game out at the end, and I'll never forget him handing the old fridge Super Bowl. He put that football right to him. And I saw the fridge when they came on the stadium.
That guy had the biggest head of any man I have ever seen.
Okay.
So I've seen a lot of them over the years. It's been coming since the G-Boys, Garnto and Galloway in the early 60s. And used to travel with the teams back in the 70s when I was a student, travel with Paul Dietzel and Frank McGuire, which is a lot more fun. I remember I got off the plane one time in Tallahassee. We beat Florida State back then 52-14. And when I got off the plane, I had long hair like I do now. And
great
said,
head of hair.
Who's that guy?
It is.
And Paul Dietz's wife said, that's a Colorado Buffalo.
Oh, all right. So prediction for Saturday night?
I'd say 27-24 Gamecocks.
That's a good one. Gary West, thank you for stopping by this morning. Hopefully this Bojangles is pretty good now. You see,
it's great.
Been around for a long time. It's definitely changed a lot
Yeah,
down
I'm
here.
leaving this. Yeah, stored all my stuff. I sleep in my car now. So I'm heading to Miami where it's a little warmer.
Okay.
Make more money and stay warm.
There you go.
All right.
Thank you for stopping by this morning. Gary West joining us. You can do so as well. 803-404-6100. You can call in or you can actually stop by and visit with us, grab a biscuit. Clemson Sean is out here, and we're going to get him on as well here in just a little while. Maybe make sure that he gets a little bit of time to join us. I was looking forward to him joining us right about now as we were running out of time. That would have been a good time to have him, right?
I mean, at some point you got to let the man talk.
No, I don't. It's our radio show. We
like Clemson Sean now.
If he wants to talk, he can get his own radio show. We might let him on in the next hour. Perry Orth scheduled at 7:30 this morning. And again, if you want to stop by, 1136 is the address, but it's pretty easy to find. It's the Gamecock Wrap Bojangles here on Bluff Road, right down from Williams-Brice Stadium, where all the action will occur on Saturday night, 7:30. Again, weigh in with your thoughts, your predictions. Bill Gunner, Patrick Pratt, we're out here. Jen Jensen is all by herself in the studio, enjoying every moment of it. We'll come back with more. Hour number 2 up next. You're listening to The Early Game on 107.5 The Game.
You know, it's really throwing me off.
I think the internet's bad here. I just can't.
Yeah, I mean, I think the internet's a little bit slower here, but I don't know on the echo. The echo
I
might-
think, well, we should be hearing the program right now. Jay definitely unplugged our thing
Yeah,
again.
the crazy guy been pushing the last 2 years. We need to get rid of Frank Martin. I don't like to make Don Staley cut it. I've been pushing that too. You probably think I'm crazy. I knew Kay and what's his name at North Carolina Real Estate.
Someone should have told us.
You met the recruiter.
Joe Pollard should have told us.
So, you don't think you're good?
Oh, he'll be here.
I think you can try to wrap it up.
That was unreal. I think my man is hammered right now. Oh.
I don't know what they're going to say about
You know, this is our text line and everything. Works and everything.
Whoa.
You get it?
Watching from Malawi, Africa.
Oh, wow.
Ruth, you win. You win.
Good job.
You absolutely win.
And she's missing a Bojangles biscuit.
Yeah, you sure are.
Did you go out in Clemson?
I have no idea.
I went to
This month, I'm thankful for Zero Res. It's the only company I trust to give my home the best and most effective clean. Right now, get 3 rooms of carpet clean for $119 when you mention me. Bill Gunner and 1075 The Game online at ZeroResColumbia.com.
It's time to remodel. Actually, it's been time to remodel, but you still haven't started. Well, there's no better time than right now. I'm Eddie Springer of Trey Cow Builders, and we really do make remodeling your kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, or whole house easy. At Trey Cow, we'll help you every step of the way. We do first-class work quickly, cleanly, and affordably. Call 360-8211, 360-8211, or visit TRECALbuilders.com. Trey Cow Builders, quality from start to finish.
Oh, wow.
Jen, did you go check it to see if it was plugged in?
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading them behind.
Yeah. All right. Well, I've got 1, 2, and 3 in program 3. Got to get the salty butter taste. Bill's frozen.
They're building a house.
okay.
So yeah, they're living in a rental for a year. I'm going to my girlfriend and brother are coming down Saturday. I'm not gonna go to the game. We're just gonna tailgate and then probably go back to my house. It'll be fun. But I've been to 3 in a row. It's gonna be cold. I've been to 2 night games the last 3 weeks. Like I get it. It's gonna be the best environment of the year for sure. But my parents don't care. They're not top college fans, so making them dragging them along, they won't care. All right. It should be better now.
Where y'all tailgate?
We haven't figured that out yet. I'm still trying to figure out what the best spot is.
So, like last week, one of my buddies But I know
You're starting it with your light.
Need it back. 5 spots. You want it. That are like all beside each other. So there's 20 spots still left in the bid.
You know I've got it.
Yeah. Just call up.
Will there be on Saturday?
I mean, there were last week. I mean, we were able to.
You just showed up that morning and
No, we called and pre-reserved like 5 spots.
Head back in.
Okay, we'll go back. I might try to do that because I have buddies that'll be in this fairgrounds. It'd be nice to just be in there.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I got kicked off too. I'm on a hotspot now.
Guys are up.
Bill Gunner, Patrick Perrette, live here at the Bojangles on Bluff Road. You can come and visit us, 1136 Bluff Road to be exact. But again, you don't really need the address. It's pretty easy to find. Just look for the garnet and black Gamecock wrapped Bojangles just down from the stadium. Come by and get a biscuit. Oh, now you're ready to have him on? We'll get him on.
I was just asking.
We'll get him on in just a minute. Clemson Sean has stopped by this morning. He did bring some cans of non-perishable food items that he dropped off for Harvest Hope Food Bank. You can swing by as well. Get yourself some breakfast. Get your tailgating event signed up or lined up for Saturday afternoon as you start to tailgate for South Carolina and Clemson, 7:30 Saturday night, just about a block away. What is it? Would you call it a block away? Is that what we're even saying? Is that how we define it? Or
That's about a block.
A block away?
Yeah.
Is that fair?
I mean, we don't really have blocks here, but I would say that's about a block away.
Our director of promotions is here, Jess Frank. Jess, is that about a block away? Is that fair to the football stadium?
100 yards?
On a New York City block. Yeah. We're a New York City block away from Williams-Brice Stadium. So you can come down if you haven't been down here, or if you're out and about this morning. I know some people are already starting their weekend, getting ready for some fun Thanksgiving that'll be taking place over the next unless you're Will Muschamp, it takes place to me over a 3 or 4 day span. Will Muschamp is more of the impression that it just is a meal, which I continue to not agree with.
How early is too early to drink sweet tea?
There's never it's never too early.
It's not like weird to drink it at 7 a.m.
No, I think you have your coffee and then you go straight into the sweet tea.
My mouth is burning and I need something cold. I think I'm gonna get sweet tea.
Right.
Again, I just didn't know if that was inappropriate.
Patrick, where did the sausage biscuit go that you just had?
Down my gullet.
Yeah, that also disappeared at a rather quick pace there for Patrick. He's already put down a Cajun filet biscuit and a sausage biscuit, and we've barely gotten to the 1 hour mark of the program. If you want to weigh in this morning, 803-404-6100. That's how you can join us here, the Cool Care Heating and Air text line, or the Love Chevy phone lines as well. You can also go to the Buford Lending live stream as Mark Ruth is watching from where is that in Africa?
Malawi. I don't know where that is, but that's incredible.
Welcome in, Ruth. Glad to have Ruth this morning.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Southeastern Africa.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Malawi, Africa is where Ruth is watching us.
Just north of Mozambique.
How about that? Watching us on the live stream. So you can go join us on the Buford Lending live stream as well. 803-404-6100. Yesterday, I came on. Sit down.
Yeah, come on. I wouldn't have done that yesterday.
I was going to do it again in the last segment if I was given an opportunity. It should work. Joined now by our good buddy who attends all our outings, and he's got his orange on. Clemson Sean is joining us this morning. It's good to see you in person, and thank you for the non-perishable food items you brought to Harvest Hope Food Bank. You went to Missouri. How was the Missouri trip? You got to hang out with Patrick Perrette.
Did. In one word, cold. Very, very cold. Very uninspiring place to visit for a football game. Probably the first and last time I'll ever go there. But hey, cross it off the bucket list. I only have a few more stadiums left to go to in the SEC before I complete all 16.
What do you still need to go to? Arkansas?
I still need to go to – no, I've been to Arkansas. But technically – I guess I need to go to another one in Arkansas because don't they still play in 2 different locations? Is that still a thing?
I don't think they play in Little Rock. I don't pay enough attention. I hate to say like that. I don't pay enough attention to where every Arkansas game is at, but I don't think they play in Little Rock anymore. I don't remember a game being played at Memorial Stadium in recent memory that I paid attention to.
Maybe they'll go back. That'd be a pretty cool place to see too. But so I've been everywhere except for Kentucky, Alabama, and LSU now. So.
Okay. Couple big ones.
I'm gonna make it a point to go to the LSU and Clemson game in 2025, I believe it is. So
Home and home.
Yeah, home and home. So I'll make that trip to LSU in 2025, and
Well, and you're gonna have Norman and Austin coming up here soon, though.
Oh, yeah,
That's gonna have to restart.
Yeah.
Does Clemson have one scheduled with Oklahoma, or is that
I mean, we
Georgia?
played in the playoffs a bunch of times. I wouldn't really call that a game. We always beat them.
Doesn't Oklahoma have a home and home scheduled with a SEC team? Is it Georgia?
They did. And Alabama, but I think obviously a lot of that will change. I think maybe I know
It's in like 2035.
Texas is expected slated to play Alabama next year, and again whether that's a conference game or not, we'll wait and see. All right, you got your Clemson Orange on. We'll let you on air. What is your thoughts on the game for this coming weekend? You've usually been, when you're in a good mood, pretty modest about where both teams are. Clemson comes in very injured, a lot of injuries. But what is your thoughts, expectations?
Well, somebody better get some guys on there, some shots or something, get them all limbered up, especially at wide receiver. We're gonna be in a little bit of trouble. I mean, when you're starting Will Sweeney at that slot,
he is quick. He's a fast little guy.
He's quick, but
He's the new Hunter Renfrow.
I'd rather see someone out there than Will Sweeney. Just gonna throw that out there. So yeah, hopefully we get Notabat this week. EJ Williams. Hopefully those guys get a little bit get some good treatment going.
Are they expected to play, or just completely up in the air?
Last I heard, there was no really update on their injury, so
which means they're probably going to play.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a long week. I do think that this is one with the wide receivers where maybe Dabo's more willing to hold it close to the vest, just a little bit of gamesmanship there, because I mean, we talked a lot about in the first hour the offense of South Carolina versus the defense of Clemson and what we expect Clemson to do. Clemson's offense, if they don't have some of these wide receivers, you're going to rely a lot on Will Shipley and Kobe Pace to try and run the football, and that's an area where I think they can have success. But Tank Bigsby had a lot of success. Chris Rodriguez had 140 yards and a lot of success, and Auburn only put up 17. Kentucky only put up 16. It's one of those things where you can have a lot of success between the 20s, but can you punch it in? And as the field shortens, South Carolina's defense seems to become a little bit tougher. You got to have those wide receivers to be able to stretch South Carolina out a little bit.
Well, I heard Patrick on the way in say that I think it was you that said you didn't think that Clemson would blitz much just because they were going to be able to line up and pretty much be man-to-man out talent the guys. But
yeah.
The way I look at it, our offense just can't score. So I feel like Brent Venables needs to send the house pretty much every play and pray that we get a defensive touchdown.
I think that's how both teams are going to feel, honestly. I mean, both defensive lines are going to have the advantage. I mean, that's the one weird thing about this whole Clemson era of dominance is that you've not been pumping out any NFL linemen on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, they've still been good for college, but they're just not going pro.
There's been a couple guys. I mean, I think
John
Shatley
Simpson
still plays for the Jaguars, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't there a Carolina lineman that also starts for the Jaguars?
AJ Cann, yep. AJ Cann is still there.
So I mean, we got a couple guys still floating around out there.
But both defenses probably go into the game saying we need to force multiple turnovers.
Yeah, but I mean, I agree with you. The fact that we've had 6 straight playoff appearances with no really notable NFL starting linemen.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of pretty impressive if you think about it.
Well, they've had some good guys, some competent guys there, and obviously though you've had quarterbacks at Clemson that have been generational talents. Deshaun Watson, and now on to Trevor Lawrence.
Well, speak of that, is Tony Elliott back in your good graces after the last couple of weeks, or?
I wasn't one of those fans that were, fire
Watson
Elliott,
and Lawrence made him.
I mean, Watson and Lawrence probably did make him. I mean, again, like Will said, those are 2 generational talents at quarterback. But I was never really in the camp that said fire Elliott. It's just one of those years. We had a lot of injuries on offense. We had some wide receivers who I don't want to call them misses, but maybe they're just not ready yet. A quarterback that's not ready yet and may never be ready. I mean, to me,
is he getting better?
He has his moments, but let's be honest. I mean, when he's not throwing the ball accurately, where's it going? It's going high and it's sailing every single play, which if anybody knows anything about being a quarterback, when you're throwing high every play, it's terrible footwork. So, in an off season, can he, get with one of those quarterback gurus, fix his footwork, get those passes down, get some completed? I would hope to think so. But I mean, look, if he's not going to be the answer, you got a guy coming in next year as a true freshman, Cade out of Texas, and they're not going to be afraid to throw him in there. Dabo's not afraid to throw in a freshman at quarterback.
No, he's not. But I think that's an interesting point that you bring up, because the system has worked so well for Clemson with bring the quarterback as a stud, bring the next guy in, bring him along slowly. Yeah, the way DJU has performed this year, now he's not on the fast track to go to the NFL after 3 years. And Klubnik comes in.
Well, it just shows how dumb we are about projecting NFL, because he just has an outrageous arm. If you just watch him run around the field and throwing the ball 60 yards downfield, you're like, oh my goodness.
Well, but
he's the number one pick.
To go back, what I think is interesting, and it's occurring across the country now, is keeping quarterbacks on your roster in the situation for a backup, and how you can go about doing that. I think that's a very interesting situation for how they are going to go about trying to, not just at Clemson, but across the board at multiple programs. You see what's happening at Florida with Emory Jones and Anthony Richardson. Georgia's going to be very interesting with their situation. Brock Vandegrift and Gunnar Stockton coming in, and Stetson Bennett, who apparently was granted 39 years of eligibility to play college football. I think he's back next year. These kids, these quarterbacks, these elite quarterbacks, they go to play, and then they end up sitting on the bench, and the natural reaction is, well, fine, I'll just find another school. Texas.
Well, and there's going to be there's quarterback gurus or coaches that think they're quarterback gurus all over the country that are going to say, well, I can be the one that fixes this guy. DJ, come to me. You've got all the tools in the world. I'll turn you into the guy that you could be. Even Felipe Franks stunk at Florida, and even he gets a chance at Arkansas because he's just got ridiculous physical tools. So there's always going to be. Yeah, and he's in the NFL. It's out. It's insane. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, but again, you go across the board. Texas right now with, was it Hudson Card and Casey Thompson? I know Texas they're heading for loss number 7 potentially this week against Kansas State, but or loss number 7 in a row. But 8 would be 8 overall. But again, I think the quarterback situation, Clemson's going to be interesting. South Carolina doesn't have the dynamic quarterback just yet, but we've talked a lot about this year. Well, you got Braden Davis coming in. You might have to go hit the transfer portal and bring in another guy to create competition amongst the quarterback room with Jason Brown, with Luke Doty, with Colton Gauthier, with Braden Davis, and maybe even a 5th guy that you bring out of the transfer portal. I think it's all very interesting how quarterbacks are now being recruited, how they're being handled, and what's going to happen moving forward in Clemson with Cade Klubnik coming in and DJU not necessarily look like he's on the fast track to going straight to the NFL after 3 years. Plus, he gets last year back.
That's true.
He gets last year back. He gets that's wild, but certainly. So you want to give a prediction? But by the way, what are you doing to Gamecock Larry, buddy?
Oh man, I talked to him after he got off I got off the radio earlier. I called him and answered and gave him a little Tigers by 90, and he laughed a little bit. I think he might have choked a bit on his grits and gravy. So
yeah,
liver pudding.
Liver pudding. Yeah. All right. So I know we'll probably hear from you again at some point this week, but give us your prediction.
I think early on it's going to be pretty close. I think Dabo probably has a plan in place to try to keep it close, give Carolina fans a little bit of hope, and then right around the third quarter, we're just going to turn it on and just rip all your hearts out. Pretty much we're going to win about 42-10.
42-10.
How close is it going to be before then?
Oh, he's going to keep it really close. He's going to keep it interesting.
You're going to score 28 points in the fourth quarter?
Just within, maybe like 17 to 7 or something like that, at halftime, and then, just come out and just rip the hearts out of all of them.
And then we'll kick a sad field goal in the fourth quarter down by 30.
Great. That is analysis you get on no other radio program here in this state, let alone from a Clemson fan. We appreciate you stopping by with a non-perishable food item. We appreciate you hanging out. We always look forward to. We do enjoy seeing you at the events. I like it better when you're on the phone and I can cut you off. But it's good seeing you. Good seeing you.
Yeah, man. Good to see you.
Take care.
Too. Have a good Thanksgiving.
You too, buddy. Good. You too. You and the kids. If you want to weigh in this morning, 803-404-6100. How you can do that? You can hit us up, Buford Lending live stream, or the Cool Care Heating and Air text line, the Love Chevy phone lines as well. Again, Bill Gunner, Patrick Pratt. We're out here at the Bojangles on Bluff Road. 1130 is the address, but it's hard to miss. The Gamecock Wrapped Bojangles just down from the stadium. I think Patrick's thinking about trying to punt a football down there and see if he can get it from here to down there to the stadium. Yeah, throw a long lacrosse ball. Okay, there's that too. You can stop by and see us. We'll let you on air, or you can just grab yourself a biscuit and hang out and chat with us. All fair. Either one works. Jen Jensen back in the studio doing a good job. Hope you are having a fantastic morning. It is Thanksgiving week here in the Palmetto State as we warm up and get ready for Saturday night, 7:30. Gamecocks and Tigers just down the road at Williams-Brice Stadium. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
About the Gamecocks extraordinary.
Yeah. He's been to 3 games a week since the beginning of the season. He goes to a Thursday night game, he goes to a Sunday game, and he goes to a Monday night game. Can you imagine like the travel?
How's he bankrolling that?
Well, he's a single, unmarried guy with a girlfriend that lives in another state.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay, so it works.
He works remotely, so he can, and he racked up a bunch of flyer miles over the years to be able to do that. So
Good for him.
if you want to check it out.
Yeah, what is it?
It's called Go for 32. You can see his travels and stuff like that. And he's a South Carolina alum, so it's pretty cool.
There you go.
And also,
Oh, yeah.
Sweet tea is like pre-workout, right?
Pretty much.
Sweet tea will give you enough energy
By the way,
today.
what's this note? No, that was Derek Moore. What a guy.
All right, you got a good one.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I'll be out at the fairgrounds on Saturday.
All right. I'll probably see you roaming around then. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll probably be at the house. He's gonna be in Greenwood. I'll probably be at the house.
Yeah.
All right.
Derek Moore, great guy.
Go back. Where's up?
Getting out of here around 7:26. Do we want to do Perry with a break, or do we want to just take a break and take him a little later than 7:30 and just ride him all the way through.
What's up, guys? We're probably right.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
Is one side for Carolina, one for Clemson?
No, that actually
No, but actually, that's what we should do.
It's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
I want to beat Clemson in everything.
Did Clemson Sean bring cans?
Yeah, yeah, he brought a bunch.
Yeah, I'm glad I missed that rip rap.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanksgiving.
You too. Appreciate that.
Somebody you guys are beating Heath yesterday.
With cans?
Yep.
Nice. Heath had better guests.
I will not deny that. But he also
He was
had
also
our
at-
advance on his side.
Yeah, and he also had Hall's Chop House, which all the rich people go to anyway.
Yes. Like,
So people were just rolling through there.
for one of the appetizers that they brought out to us, it was a hot dog. A hot dog at Hall's Chop House. Yes. And I was just like,
Well, he was just having, there were just people rolling through. It like six, yeah, 7 guests. It was like an easy show of all time. Oh, Corey Miller.
Were people just stopping by? Or?
Yeah, because they just hung out at Hall's.
And so Beamer was on air, like called in.
Yeah, I had to put like 8 podcasts up. So, do we have a plan here?
Huh?
Do we have a plan here? Go short and get Perry on for just one straight shot?
That's what I prefer. Even
Chantal doing that?
yeah, that's kind of the.
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
I think AJ, I call it sometimes.
Hey, nice to meet you.
About headed it off the cliff.
You want to hop on for a second?
I wish I had. I gotta get the off.
Oh, okay.
I think we're going to go short and then just take Perry for a straight shot all the way through the end.
Thank you for stopping by.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. So
Like,
you guys are
call
gonna,
Perry.
gonna
We'll call
come in and
Perry.
talk for a second.
Yeah. And then
Okay.
do a short segment and then call Perry at like 7:40 and just take him for 15 minutes straight.
Yeah, we'll make this kind of a very short segment and highlight what we're doing.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
Live here at Oops, I'm sorry.
His heart stays home. He's got lawyer and 10 grandbabies for food. Let's weekly rides to take home in a car that's even tougher and the Medicare coverage trusted by more doctors. Medicare,
Yeah.
Blue Cross Blue Shield, by your side no matter what. That's benefit.
Thanksgiving is just 2 lunchtime on Thursday.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra coming to Columbia Wednesday, December 8th at Colonial Life Arena. You can purchase tickets. They are on sale now. A portion of the proceeds will benefit Family Promise of the Midlands, a charity that aims to help families experiencing homelessness in their quest to achieve sustainable independence. Again, tickets on sale now. Trans-Siberian Orchestra in town Wednesday, December 8th at Colonial Life Arena. 803-404-6100 is how you can join us this morning. Bill Gunner, Patrick Perret out here at the Bojangles on Bluff Road, 1130 Bluff Road is the exact address. You can stop by. Clemson Sean was out here. Coach Derek Moore just stopped by to say hello. He was, as you would expect, he is full of energy.
Well,
I think he was giving us a pep talk.
And Gamecock Larry, we know, is listening right now. He did say that Gamecock Larry has fans all over the operations building.
He did. He
everybody loves Gamecock Larry.
He did say that yes, that everybody in the operations building is very appreciative of the love and the excitement that Gamecock Larry brings. We got somebody out there waving in the truck. We just wave right back.
Just had AJ show up and say hi.
AJ stopped by. So people coming by this morning getting their breakfast. Looks like my guy in the truck out there maybe has some sweet tea. You and I got some sweet tea there in the kind of during the break. So we're having a good time here. You're more than welcome to stop by, hang out. We'll put you on air. Come up here in about 10 minutes. We're going to catch up with the one, the only Perry Orth, as we'll get him for his usual Tuesday segment. 803-404-6100. Again, yesterday, South Carolina, Dawn Staley, 73-57 over Connecticut. It was emphatic.
Yeah.
22 and 15 from Aaliyah Boston. And yeah, what you just said is exactly what happened. You take down 3 top 10 teams in your first 6 games, and you kind of cap it off by smacking UConn upside the head, telling Gino Auriemma, go get better hair gel, go back home to Hartford, get out of here. We are the dominant team in college basketball. It'll be fun to watch this team. They're going to get a rematch. Are they going to get another game with Connecticut? I believe it's January 27th.
January 27th, yep.
Here in Columbia, so everybody can turn out.
Did you see the locker room video? Don Staley talking to the team after the game?
I did not.
It was awesome. It's just, I mean, it was typical, just her talking about shouting out certain people, but at the end of it, it ended with something like a "now it's our time," and it was a sweet ending.
It's hard to argue with that. I mean, yesterday they got down early. And it looked like Connecticut was going to kind of roll in that game, and South Carolina just kind of chipped away, and then they didn't chip anymore. They took control of the game and blew Connecticut's doors off.
And I saw something. Did the AP delay putting out their top 25 for this game?
I was unaware of that.
I saw that on Twitter that they might have done that because they were expecting that maybe South Carolina was going to lose, and they just dominated.
It was a very dominating performance yesterday, and it was again highlighted by Aaliyah Boston, 22 points, 15 rebounds. The Gamecocks roll over Connecticut tonight at Colonial Life Arena. Wofford in town. South Carolina men's team will host them. And again, Patrick, it's not a win that's going to get you a lot of attention later in the season, but it's a loss that will unfortunately get a lot of attention if you let this one get away.
Yeah, it will. And okay, now we're getting confirmation on the live stream about this. Yeah, the AP did delay the top 25 with the expectation that UConn might upset South Carolina and take over number 1, and then South Carolina just pummeled them.
Yeah,
so I love that.
Yeah, so there again yesterday, a great moment for Dawn Staley. Really, just the way they won that game, only giving up 3 points in the fourth quarter. A very dominant victory. Long way to go until March, certainly. Long way to go until the Final Four and any kind of that discussion of what South Carolina may end up accomplishing this year. But certainly here as we wrap up Feast Week and that portion of college basketball. Again, I was watching the Maui Invitational yesterday and last night that is currently taking place in Las Vegas. But the battle for Atlantis is what South Carolina was participating in down in the Bahamas, and again, just an absolute blowout of Connecticut. But tonight, South Carolina hosting Wofford, Colonial Life Arena, 7 o'clock.
Should be the first chance to see A.J. Wilson.
I mean, yeah, that's going to be interesting to me in how Frank Martin continues to build this rotation, develop this rotation as he gets guys back. This will be the second to last game. South Carolina, third game. This will be the last game, actually, without
Keyshawn, right?
Without Keyshawn Bryant. He'll be back on Sunday when they host Ryder in the afternoon. So we'll see how that goes. But, yeah, getting A.J. Wilson back into the lineup, and then you got to factor in Keyshawn Bryant starting Sunday. It's going to be, again, interesting to see how Frank incorporates these guys into the lineup.
I was going to say, how many minutes are you expecting A.J. Wilson to play? Are you expecting him to start? He's not a starter, is he? Do we know?
I don't think you make him a starter in this game. Now maybe in a few weeks, a little bit different. But I think you go with the lineup that you've been going with and kind of let things play out.
Are we expecting heavy minutes from him? Like, 15 minutes.
I think it depends on how. It really depends on how he's playing and how the game goes.
I just genuinely don't know how he's going to fit in because I don't know what he was expected to contribute. I don't know if he was supposed to be a starter or just a rotation guy or what. I really didn't know what the expectation was for him because we don't know anything about half these guys.
We're learning. We're learning. I think one thing we thought Chico Carter Jr. might play a little bit more. His minutes have been a little bit more limited. You've seen the freshmen Devin Carter and Jacoby Wright play a little bit more. It's all been very interesting to see these guys and how Frank's utilizing them. Again, Devin Carter, another step in his development. The way he was able to finish out the game against UAB last week certainly was very impressive.
His confidence is impressive. He doesn't play like a freshman. He's not scared of the big stage at all.
He is a guy who is certainly making a lot of things happen early on in his career, and it will be fun to watch him develop. 803-404-6100. Perry Orth is up next. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game. Oh, it is a fantastic morning out here at Bojangles, but I'm seeing a lot of those great-looking trucks pulling through. The Chevy Silverados, you're out and about. Most of you probably you've already purchased one, and you're thinking about all the great things you're going to be able to do in a Chevrolet Silverado. You're going to go tailgate. Maybe you're going to taking the family to Thanksgiving, or you got big trips planned. And if you don't have a Chevrolet Silverado, good news. They are in stock right now at Love Chevrolet. You can get out to Love Chevrolet, I-26 in Harbison between Lowe's and Frankie's Fun Park, and you can check out the great selection of Chevrolet Silverados currently in stock over at Love Chevrolet. Maybe you're not looking for a Silverado. Maybe it's something else. Good news, Love Chevrolet has got you taken care of. Whether it's a brand new vehicle or the incredible certified pre-owned lot, Love Chevrolet has got the selection you're looking for. And once you find that car, you want the best deal possible. The $1,000 low price guarantee means you're going to get just that. You can go shop other dealerships, take their deal back to the folks that Love Chevrolet, and they'll top it. If not, they'll write you a check for $1,000. And the best part, the sales staff, phenomenal, absolutely incredible. They're going to treat you like a family member. They're going to make sure you're happy with your purchase, that you're confident with your purchase. And when you leave Love Chevrolet, you are going to be just as happy as you'll be come about 4 o'clock on Thursday after that incredible Thanksgiving meal. Love Chevrolet, I-26 in Harbison between Lowe's and Frankie's Fun Park, or on the web, lovechevy.com. Get out to Love Chevrolet and find new roads.
And Thanksgiving, and then on into Christmas, and all the good stuff that comes with the holiday season. There you go. How was the game? How was River Bluff last week?
We won last. I was just telling Patrick, we beat Somerville last night. Not Somerville. We beat Lakewood last night. So we'll play Somerville tonight.
Now, where is that at?
Lakewood?
No. Where are y'all playing? River Bluff?
Yeah, so the tip-off is actually in two places. The Chapin brackets at Chapin High School, and the River Bluff brackets obviously.
That's how it used to be. There was a Lexington bracket. Is it Lake Murray tip-off, or which tournament is this?
Tip-off of the game.
Okay. Yeah, we used to have the Lake Murray tip-off, and it was Lexington Airport.
So, yeah, this is, Lexington got beat. No. They blew out, Swansea, I think it was.
Ben's got a whole bunch of new players this year.
You got two transfers from Lexington.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so here's your brackets. No, actually, it's not right.
That's a team of the upstate.
Wando.
There's Wando.
Yeah, Wando is at the Chapin bracket.
Yeah, Somerville and Wando.
Chapin, I don't know if Chapin. No, there's Chapin also.
Oh, you said River Bluff one, right?
Yeah, we meet.
Oh wait, I'm looking at this thing correct. Yeah, I see that it's shaping like Dutch waterfalls last night.
Yeah. Cross Creek beat Dutch War. There's a lot of Lola upsets last night. From what I was told.
How we doing? All right.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
Bill Gunner.
York.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, yeah, Patrick. Nice to meet you.
Wow. It's Alan York.
Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Love it.
Just wanted to come and say hi. I got the Let's get ready for the dive.
Yeah, we love hearing you.
Well, I appreciate you stopping by.
Like seeing you comment on live stream too. Yeah.
Yeah, I look forward to Saturday.
I think
be tailgating as usual. I tailgate right back.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, on Eden Street.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, do you live around here or you live out
Yeah, I'm about 10 minutes.
Okay, so yeah, so this was an easy trip.
Oh, yeah, I stay on Congress Road.
Okay.
So, yeah. Hey, I always tell people there's only 7 of them. I don't know why you don't show up.
I did this for the Florida game. That was because we had a soccer tournament. By the end of the day, I was worn out.
That's understandable.
It really had nothing to do with it. Was I hated coming to the game and then having to get the car and drive back at midnight and fight traffic. That was really the reason we elected to not come down here. But last week we had a good time. I still got home I think at like 12:30 last night. And I got home Saturday night, put on the game, fell asleep, woke up, cut it off next morning, couldn't wake up.
I was so amped up. I didn't get in the bed till after 1 Saturday. And that stadium, man, it was electric.
That was like,
yeah.
It'll be better. At least that electric to start the game. We'll see if it's that electric here on Saturday night at the end of the game.
Oh, yeah. All right, so
I appreciate you coming by. Thank you for your support. Jen, we got Perry. Oh.
Showing up together. Did they sync that? Did they sync that up? Showing up together.
Do I know?
Did they sync that up? Showing up together. How we doing?
Good. How are you guys? What's going on? We got it. Hanging in there. It's one of the. Of course, it's a great location. But yeah, as the morning goes on, you got more and more people coming by that are listening. So like we had 5 or 6 cars that they're going through the drive-through, so there's no time to come in. So now they're just out there like waving. You can tell they're listening because then I'll say something, and there's the 7-10 second delay. So all of a sudden they'll see them start like,
Tell Jen there's no accident.
There's an accident. There's not a. Jen, there's no accident malfunction. All right, I don't know. Just give that to me in the 8 o'clock hour. I got Perry now.
Okay.
You come back.
Josh working is a very loose term for what he's doing, but he is here. Josh is here. That's the Josh is here. Bill Gunner, Patrick Perrette, live on location, Bojangles, 1130 Bluff Road. But I don't really need to give you the address. All you got to know is to go to Williams-Brice Stadium, go just a block down the road towards 120. Was it 77 back over here? 77 is what's back behind. I never go that way. And you can't miss the Gamecock-wrapped Garnet and Black Bojangles. It is your home for tailgating. You need to go ahead and start lining up your Saturday tailgate plans. Why would not come by Bojangles to pick up a big bow box, 8, 12, or 20-piece chicken along with the fixins? Bojangles legendary iced tea. We've got ourselves large cups of iced tea now. We really don't know what to do with ourselves. We've got sausage biscuits, Cajun flay biscuits, 2 bowberry biscuits, a cinnamon biscuit, coffee, and Bojangles legendary sweet tea. They're gonna have to roll us out of here. Yeah. Okay. Patrick's. Quite honestly, if you come by, we're just going to turn the show over to you. Any of the listeners, it doesn't matter. York is here. Alan just stopped by. Loyal listeners, and members of the live stream. So they're not on the live stream today if you're paying attention there. But yeah, we got a ton of food. We're just going to basically go into a food coma in the 8 a.m. hour and turn it over to everybody else. One guy who is ready, always ready. He was out last week. So we went to the bullpen. We got Michael Skarnecchia. But just like in real life, we go back to the starter, Perry York, joining us on the Love Chevy phone lines. Welcome back, young man. Glad you're up and healthy and ready to lead the team. Let's get
connected back.
Yeah, well, yeah. Thank goodness it turns out you were a game time decision, but you're ready to go. Let's get your take real quick on what you saw. I'll kind of turn you loose on this and let you go as long as you want. But what you saw against Missouri, but then how you saw either the game plan or how they utilized Jason Brown, how you saw it change against Auburn.
Game to get after Jason Brown and make our offensive line uncomfortable. Their defensive line played really well. I don't know what they did to get up for that game, but they were able to get after Jason Brown better than what I had seen Missouri do. And, when you stop the run, get pressure on the quarterback, you're going to be successful. And fortunately, we were able to kind of right those wrongs, and defense tackled much better against Auburn. Offense ran the ball much better against Auburn, and that was the key to the win, in my opinion. We always play better when we play at home. We always play better as a team when we run the football well and defense is flying around. I know that sounds kind of like a broken record, but it is what it is. That's who this team is. DeQuandre White made he made some great runs. He made some great catches on those little flat routes out of the backfield. He's an explosive player, and I'm glad to see him getting the ball back, more times than he did early on in the season. Then defense, man, after the first quarter, they really put the clamps down, and they were able to make TJ Finley super uncomfortable. Tank Bigsby had a couple big runs, but for the most part, was held under control. And anytime that we can beat a team that had a coordinator of ours that left on his own, definitely made for a great day.
Speaking of that, that 4th and 1 call, the Auburn deciding to pass it up the seam to Demetrius Robertson. You watch football at a more intellectual level than us. Did you think that was as dumb as every fan watching at home, not just running the ball?
Yeah, I mean, it was a dumb call. It completely changed the course of the game, gave us a short field to then go down and score. Was it 14-7 at that point, right?
I think that's right, yeah.
So I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to play action and have us go sell out on the run and sneak the tight end right up the middle of the field. Well, we were in man-to-man coverage, and everybody covered their man when they took off for a pass. And 4th and an inch, the way our offense had played up to that point, probably would have punted and played ball. But I didn't like the call at all, especially the way Tank Bigsby had run the football up to that point. And then for the rest of the game, it's one of those where, you got a 6'5", 240-pound quarterback, just go ahead and get him under center, do a QB sneak and get one of those guys to push him across the line. So didn't like the call, thought it flipped the game, happy they made it because it rejuvenated the stadium. It got our team back in it. Then when we were able to make it 14-all, then everybody kind of settled in and said, you know what, we got a ball game here. And good for us. Good for the good guys.
He is Perry York joining us as he does each and every Tuesday. And can you describe for listeners, guys, people who have never played quarterback, the throw? We were praising Jason Brown on yesterday. The touchdown pass to Josh Van, rolling to his left, I guess throwing back across his body. That was the touchdown that gave South Carolina that was the first touchdown there, I believe. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I think that was the one that gave South Carolina the lead there, 21-17. Harry, I mean, we talk about Jason Brown. He is learning still, I think, but the athleticism required to make that throw.
Yeah, absolutely. Sprinting to his left, to be able to get his hip pointed to his target while still in straight sprint to the sideline, just shows you the kind of athlete the kid is. He wasn't an FCS All-American for no reason. And he made a hell of a throw, and it was a frozen road right out in front of Josh Van. It was just I know it was a play for him where he'll be able to look back and say, you know what, I do belong playing in the SEC, and I have the ability to do that. The rest of the evening, man, he was efficient. He was accurate besides his one interception. Kid played great again. I actually really didn't think he played bad at Missouri. I thought that, when you're running for your life the whole game and you're scrambling, trying to make plays, it can be a challenge. And then when you practice all week, in 60-degree weather and you got to Missouri and it's 35, that also plays a huge factor in it as well, especially at quarterback. But every game Jason has played, he's played very, very, very good. He's played exceptional. He's taken care of the ball for the most part. And we're going to need him to play and kind of have one of those breakout games for us to win on Saturday.
Where have you seen Jason Brown grow the most from the Florida game, which was a very good game for him? Again, he managed it. But where have you seen him grow the most through the first 3 games?
Yeah, I think just his overall command and his composure on the field. Not that he was out of control before. He just seems to be relaxed. He looks like the starter now. The guys really rally around him. He's playing with a lot of confidence. There's not a ton that I haven't seen in the game just without knowing exactly what the offense is trying to accomplish or knowing the plays or, how he's coached to execute the play. But you can tell he's becoming every single time he steps out on the field, and this is a sign of a good quarterback, that he continues to gain confidence. It looks like the game is slowing down for him, and he's able to play with kind of that loose, relaxed manner. Kid's accurate, throws a good ball. I wish we could have seen more of him, but I know that there was a learning curve of the offense that he had to go through to get to where he's at now. And again, from all the things I've heard from people inside the building, he's an outstanding kid, hard worker, team player, and was always prepared, even when he wasn't the guy, just in the event that he might be called up to play. And I mean, listen, he's 2-1, has beaten Florida and Auburn. He's getting to play Clemson at home, a very, very beatable Clemson team at night at Williams-Brice, and it doesn't get any better than that.
How much Clemson have you been able to watch this year?
Say that again.
How much Clemson have you been able to watch this year?
A little bit. I watched their Pitt game. I watched them a little bit on Saturday. They're much improved between the Pitt game and now. They're not very explosive on offense. I think they have good players, but they're not what they have been, I can tell you that. Defense is still playing at a very high level. They got big defensive line, talented secondary. It's going to be a struggle for us on offense, and we're going to have to manufacture plays and creative plays, trick plays, special teams to get the ball in good field position, to take shots, to score some points, because very few teams have driven the length of the field each and every game. Our best bet is to play a game very similar to the way Pitt did. Keep everything in front, on defense, and then on offense, we're going to have to hit some big plays if we want to win. I think we will. I think we are going to win the game. I just kind of have that hunch. Playing at night, Williams-Brice, it's going to be electric. Guys play better at home. Coach Beamer and his staff are going to have the boys ready to go, and I think it's going to be a great ball game, and it's great to go into the game knowing, like, all right, Carolina Clemson, it's kind of finding its rivalry back, and I think a Carolina win would definitely rejuvenate the rivalry. It obviously would fire the fan base up, and I mean, what a way for Coach Beamer to finish out his first regular season, beating Clemson, going 7-5, and getting a chance at a bowl game. So, I mean, they've done an outstanding job up to this point to, kind of sift through what was not an overly fantastic first start of the season. But I tell you, those guys in the building, they stayed positive. They worked hard. They just always saw the next game as the next opportunity to get better. And now you're 6-5 and looking at an opportunity to upset your rival. So.
Well, you just gave your game prediction. You would give a score prediction.
We'll throw a score prediction in there.
I do think it's interesting. Talk about
what you just mentioned with Clemson's offense.
And maybe something being able to slow them down. But how many points does it take for South Carolina to win this football game? What's the magical number they've got to get to, you think?
Yeah, 27 or 28. So I'll go 28-24 Gamecocks. We got to get to 28 if we want to win. Clemson's going to have their plays. But I think the huge key in the ball game is our defensive line is so much better than their offensive line. Now, I say that very confidently, and I hope that they play like it. But they are. They have proven that way all season. Clemson does not have an elite offensive line. Our defensive line can get after them. We got to make DJ as uncomfortable as possible. It's his first time starting in this rivalry game. I don't believe he has played in an environment that he's going to see on Saturday night. I know Notre Dame's historic, but it ain't Williams-Brice, I can assure you. And he's going to be in for a treat come Saturday night.
He is Perry North. A lot of seniors and a quiet confidence from Perry. I like that.
More of a quiet confidence.
Very good. Get yourself better. Your family needs it.
Get some lozenges.
Yeah, you need to be ready to go on Thanksgiving Day. I feel like as you get older, you learn that the Thanksgiving meal becomes more and more important for the yearly overall health.
Oh, yeah. No, you got to get ready to hammer some food, man. And I'll be ready. Just got to clean up this voice a little bit. We'll be all right.
He is our starting quarterback. Perry North, back from his injury last week. We went to Michael Scarnecchia. And just like all good coaches who were not retained after year 5, Scarnecchia's back on the bench and we're back with the start.
He fought through one today.
He did. That's very similar to
fought through to get a W, just like the game.
That's right. That's right. Have a great Thanksgiving. We'll catch up with you next week. Get your recap on what the game looked like.
Sounds good, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Perry North joining us. Our number 3 is next. Bill Gunner, Patrick Brett. We are out here. Come stop by and see us. 1130 Bluff Road. It is the garnet and black wrapped Gamecock Bojangles. You can come get a lovely Cajun filet biscuit, sausage biscuit. Our promotion director just stole one of our blueberry biscuits, though. Apparently, she says it was yummy. That's it. So we'll get another blueberry Bowberry biscuit.
Sit here in the break.
Yeah. You're listening to the early game. What's up, Pop? Yeah. Why aren't you on camera? I'm kind of on camera. I'm on that camera. I'm kind of sitting here playing with all the cameras. Yeah. Been kind of experimenting with a bunch of different things here.
Did our boy leave? Scary. Almost scary.
Oh, all right. Yeah, well, our boy, that was going to be, I don't know what Justin's actual marital status is, but I don't know if it's going to be your next husband, boyfriend, whatever comes after whatever you're doing now.
I have 2 dogs, so I don't think they can live in a car.
Just take them for walks all the time.
Yes, a singer-songwriter, entertainer, who's now going to New Mexico.
Yeah, there was the guy. Did you catch that Gary West guy in the first hour?
Character, long, flowing gray hair, and
boy, he had a lion.
He went to a lot of Grateful Dead shows in the 70s.
I could see that.
He's so much out there. He was a singer, songwriter, actor, entertainer. He also might have been a comedian. Okay. Yeah. How many games here for 30 years? I really been all big games across the country. I like going. I'm hopping in the car here in a little while. I would be here this weekend.
So he lives in this car. I live in my car.
Well, no, that's what he's telling us all there. So we're talking. You know, kind of going on and on and on. Yeah, I live in my car. You know, they drive down the highway and they'll number down. Okay.
Hey, I'm sorry. All he said to me was that he's been going to the games for the past 50 years. You could have betted him too.
He said, and I remember that day we brought in a quart of Jack Daniels, and I was waiting for him to finish that sentence with, and a sheet of acid into the game.
Right.
No, there was some kind of Irish whiskey cream or something.
Yeah, the Jameson.
Jameson.
He was a character.
Oh, he was something else.
Yeah, I got pictures of that.
You did get pictures? Good.
Oh, of course I got
I
pictures.
mean, goodness.
You want to hop on here in a minute? Come back. Whatever you guys want.
Yep.
It's 8. Got 2 breaks this hour.
Tommy and Jay at Uber Burrito.
Uber Burrito?
I don't know what that is.
You guys look out from the hour.
Yeah.
What time's the big sales meeting this morning?
Joe, how concerned are you with Lamar Jackson's digestive system?
It's
like the biggest issue, biggest threat to the Ravens season right now.
Well, I mean, the backup did okay, and then we lost the backup I really wanted. We lost him.
Which backup? Huntley or McSorley?
Nick Sorley. The Cardinals picked him up off our practice.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yes.
On the active roster.
It's time to remodel, actually. It's been time to remodel. You still haven't started. Well, there's no better time than right now. I'm Eddie Springer of Trey Cow Builders, and we really do make remodeling your kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, or whole house easy. At Trey Cow, we'll help you every step of the way. We do first-class work quickly, cleanly, and affordably. Call 360-8211, 360-8211, or visit TRECAL.
So now he's which I don't know what the heck. Because Lamar was sick for 3 days, came back and had a press conference and was like, I feel great. And then he was out the next 2 days, including the game. It's like, what the heck just happened?
There's a lot of theories. It's got like Crohn's or something like that. Nobody really knows. It's just there was the diarrhea game last year. It's just
which Nick McSorley did well in. Which is why I was bummed that he was gone because I actually thought he'd be better than Huntley. But Huntley just makes sense because he plays exactly like Lamar.
Yeah.
So if you have a whole game plan offensively for Lamar, you might as well just put Huntley in there because he can run pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
T-shirts, what size you got?
Oh, we got I think every size. What size are you looking for? Let's see. Jess, you know the sizes we have? Are they all the same size? Take them with you. Said they're all the same size.
No. Here, that'll work. Doesn't fit me, I'll give it to myself.
Yeah, give it. There you go.
Y'all take care.
Yeah, thanks so much. Look forward to talking to you tomorrow.
All right.
Yes, they are.
Tomorrow, what time is the broadcast tomorrow?
Which broadcast?
Are they going to be sworn tomorrow?
I don't think so. I think it's just the afternoon guys that are out.
Good. She posted it on Facebook, but she didn't put the times, so it's hard to promote it if you don't put the time.
Oh, is this your busy time of the? Is this a busy time for you, or you? No, you gone for a while.
Well, I took this week off.
The road show. Yeah, I don't know that they are.
I'm down here just to make sure you don't blow up our building.
Don't worry, we're not going to do that.
That's our boy.
One didn't correct it.
Bye, Gary.
Jay and Tommy are at that Uber Burrito tomorrow or today from 1 to 3. It's not 1 to 4.
You laugh, but Heath would have not handled that quite as well. Thankfully, we're the early show.
Thank you.
Yep. All right.
No, sorry.
It's the horse and buggy over there.
Yeah, that was good.
It's about to be a red Hummer that says 107.5 the game. that's about to. That puppy's about to go with him. I'll let you explain that one to Tammy when she shows up. Where's the Hummer? Well, here's what happened.
He hasn't been even. So. Oh, there's a dog in it? Oh.
See? And you said how many dogs do you have?
Did you sanitize the mic after we?
Pretty sure that does break some kind of protocol. We put Clemson Sean after him. It was chilly this morning. My little thermometer said 37 in the car. Wind was blowing. I think it was blowing on the lake because I could hear the boats rocking last night. I've eaten a little bit too much. I'm gonna move it. Are you done with it? You might want to. Ed's not gonna come this. Sammy wants to do that. Ed would lose. Our engineer would lose his mind with food and drink this close to the little box. Like he'd be there snapping pictures to send the picture. And we'll get going and throw you on. What should I introduce you as?
Marketing. It's fun.
Marketing. Okay. Director of all marketing.
5 again. What's your name?
8:04 on a Tuesday morning, Thanksgiving week. And just as important as Thanksgiving week, it is South Carolina Clemson week. Bill Gunner, Patrick Perrett coming to you live from Bojangles on Bluff Road, the garnet and black wrapped Bojangles down here. You can stop by. We've had Allen, we've had York, both famed members of our Buford Lending live stream who have stopped by this morning to say hello. And speaking of that Buford Lending live stream, Benji Getsy wanted me to let Josh Kernias. John Kernias. It is his birthday today. He is in the Hall of Fame at Coker for baseball, where he has the record for most wins. Today is his birthday. So happy birthday to John Kernias out there. He is a loyal listener, and we want to thank him.
We were also asked to give a shout out to Newberry.
And that's right. We were supposed to give a shout out to Newberry as well. They head to Bowie State this coming Saturday for the second round of the playoffs. So we're feeding people with sausage biscuits, with Cajun filet biscuits. Our promotions director is taking our Bowberry biscuits. You should look happier after you eat a Bowberry biscuit, by the way. That's not the face you should make. You can stop by and join us as well. If you bring a non-perishable food item out here to donate to Harvest Hope Food Bank, we'll give you a high five and we thank you. So come on by Bojangles, 11:30 here on Bluff Road. Patrick and I will be here for about another hour as we hang out. We get you ready for not just Thanksgiving, but we get you ready for Saturday night, 7:30, Williams-Brice Stadium. Don't forget, you can come by and go ahead and start lining up your big bow box for the weekend, an 8, 12, or 20-piece chicken along with the fixins and Bojangles' legendary iced tea to enjoy as you watch the game. It's the perfect family dinner food for your tailgate with friends. Pick one up at a Bojangles. It is bow time. Did you want to say something?
Not on the air. You left the live stream.
Oh, I'm not on the live stream anymore?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll fix that. Don't worry about that. Let's join our
professional radio.
We're professionally chaotic. We're professionally sloppy by design here. And now joining us is Director of Marketing for all of Bojangles, our good buddy. I've known him for a long time. Joe Pollock is joining us this morning to hang out. Thank you for having us out. Thank you for getting us here this morning.
We're glad you're here. I don't know that anybody wants to watch you on the live stream, but they can listen to you on the live stream. You don't have to necessarily watch.
No, they want to see you. Bill's going to turn his laptop around
so
so
I don't
everybody
need to
can
be
see
on the
you.
live stream either. It's too early in the morning.
That's why we do it.
And Bill's been eating way too much to be featured on a video.
That's why he left, because he's bloated.
I'm entering the Tuesday morning food coma where I'm kind of at. You may be doing the next hour all by yourself.
It is the next hour.
I meant
It's the
like
last
the
hour.
last.
He means the cleanup.
The next 45 minutes, baby.
Dude, it's
the
too
Patrick
early.
Perret. This may be your audition for the Patrick Perret show.
You're gonna burn yourself out before Thanksgiving gets here.
Joe, what's the favorite Thanksgiving side dish?
Oh, it is sweet potato casserole.
I don't think I saw that one coming.
Really?
Wait, is that just what's in sweet potato casserole? Is it where you just top it with the
Oh, you got all the toppings, the marshmallow
Yeah.
and the
And the
brown sugar cinnamon. And
yeah.
That's the
Pecans.
topping. Did your family make it? Is that do you have like a homemade family
Are
recipe?
you making it sound like it's weird? That's not weird, right? People eat sweet potato casserole.
I never referred to it as casserole.
2 out of
but
3
yeah,
of your
yes.
employees over here
with
are saying,
brown
yes,
sugar,
it's good.
cinnamon, pecans, and marshmallow, right?
I don't do the pecans, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's
Pecans?
delicious. Yeah.
In it or on top of it?
On top of it.
Really?
Yeah. You just put it in. You just put it on top and then put it in the oven for like a minute to.
You've never had
to
sweet
melt.
potato casserole? Have you had sweet potatoes?
I've had sweet potato fries.
What?
That's not the same thing.
What?
Why are you? I've had sweet potato fries.
Okay, but
And
you
you've never
mashed
had sweet potato?
potatoes.
I don't think I have.
Mashed sweet potatoes,
I
and
don't-
you put all the stuff on
I
it.
don't.
It's
No, I
so-
definitely no. I really, honestly, have never done all the stuff on it and all the good,
It's so
all the good
what?
things.
It's so good. My family.
I'm genuinely stunned.
That I've
That
never-
might be the most surprising thing you've ever.
That I've never
said.
had sweet potatoes. That's the most surprising thing I've ever said.
Sweet potatoes are
Who
100
hasn't-
times
yeah.
better than mashed potatoes.
Who hasn't had sweet potatoes?
Well, me, but I mean, I definitely haven't done it with the marshmallows.
I
and I
also
didn't know anything
know-
about pecans on it.
It's super weird to me that you're gonna have
Jen?
mac and cheese at Thanksgiving dinner, but not sweet potatoes.
Jen, sweet potatoes.
Everybody's had sweet potatoes. Jen's had sweet potatoes.
Jen said sweet potatoes.
I'm answering for. She's had sweet potatoes.
Okay. All right. So the what is the dessert then? Let's move on to the dessert.
Well,
because now I'm interested to see where the rest of this
My
goes.
parents arrived last night for Thanksgiving dinner, and we're talking about what we're going to have. And my mom's probably very offended by this because when I was younger, she made all the traditional Thanksgiving stuff. Well, my wife and I aren't into like the big turkey or the ham or whatever, so we end up making all the side dishes as
The
our
meal.
feast.
I don't hate that at all.
So like green bean casserole,
Yeah.
sweet potato casserole, cranberry sauce, stuffing, like all that stuff is our feast.
Is the meal? I actually don't hate that at all.
I love
the turkey
that.
is there just because it's tradition to
Yeah,
have a
but
turkey, but
I'd rather
nobody
fill up on sweet potato casserole.
Yeah,
than
the
turkey.
turkey's actually everyone's like you just have a little bit of token turkey in the corner just for the sake of it.
You
being
need that for
Thanksgiving.
leftovers.
So I actually don't hate that at all. Not having turkey.
Well, you gotta have turkey. I mean,
Just because it's Thanksgiving, you're supposed to have turkey.
Why do you have
But it's
to?
nobody's favorite. Nobody's favorite part of the Thanksgiving meal is the turkey.
Pilgrims did. What do you mean? It's I
Actually,
honor
they
my
didn't.
great
Actually,
relatives.
they didn't. If you go back, seafood was a part of the original Thanksgiving.
Well, there is what I think I'm going to do on Thursday is steam some oysters.
There
Does
you
that
go.
count?
That was part of the
Oysters.
original.
Yeah, I think we're going to do some oysters there at the house. The thing
We
is,
did rotisserie chicken last year. Is that bad? Instead of the turkey?
No.
We're doing
It's a
beef.
bird. It was a whole lot easier to go to the
I feel like we're
grocery
at a
store.
Bojangles. You would promote a rotisserie chicken instead of. I feel like this is a big move by Bojangles to get the chicken more involved in the Thanksgiving. That's okay.
Do you have mac and cheese?
At Bojangles?
No,
Or my house?
At your house.
Yes.
On Thanksgiving.
We pick it up from Bojangles.
On Thanksgiving.
We take
On
it-
Thanksgiving.
Does my wife?
I know we've had this. I've had this argument with Bill because I don't think that's at all part of the Thanksgiving feast.
I mean, we probably do because my kids like mac and cheese, so we probably do.
It's not traditional though.
Wait, you probably do. You don't know?
I don't know. My wife does all. I just watch football.
Well,
not
but you
this
have
year.
to grade.
Not this year. You're gonna watch Tim Boyle versus Andy Dalton.
The NFL needs to change that rule of the Cowboys and the Lions because
I don't know. This is the one tradition. Well, the second tradition besides running off great players that the Lions have two traditions: run off Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson, run off great players, and play on Thanksgiving. That's all they got.
Yeah, but what's the best game on Thanksgiving every year? It's the night game that does not feature the Cowboys or the Lions,
which has only been a thing for what 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, not that long.
Yeah,
the Thanksgiving night game. The
The
best
primetime
game.
game,
I
yeah.
mean, what is the Thanksgiving night game this year? Do you know? You
No,
know?
I don't
Either of
know.
you know? The only reason
I think the Cowboys play the Raiders.
I don't have an interest. Yeah, I don't have an interest in that. I will be very interested in Mississippi State, the Egg Bowl on Thanksgiving night. Lane Kiffin, Mike Leach. That's actually a little bit more of where my post Thanksgiving, passing out statement. Yeah, waking up.
Bills Saints.
Bills Saints. Okay, well that's not too bad. I'll definitely be more invested in the college game than I will.
I actually will too for the first time ever on Thanksgiving.
There's that. There's
Yeah.
that. You're Joe Pollock joining us this morning, director of marketing here at Bojangles. Does a fantastic
My boss
job.
probably won't like you saying that, but that's okay. You call me whatever you want.
Well, it's either that or they're going to add it to your job title, but not add the raise that goes
Yeah,
with it.
that's right.
That's
That's
your
right.
title now, buddy. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no money that comes with that title. But, are you from the DC, the Maryland, the
I
Baltimore?
grew up in Baltimore. Yeah.
Okay, so big Ravens fan. You and Patrick off air before we were jumping on here. We're talking about Lamar Jackson, and certainly the Ravens who were kind of rolling along. Now you got to deal with whatever's going on with Lamar. I didn't follow up on Sunday. What exactly is the
They
diagnosis?
never gave it. They said he tested negative for COVID and negative for the flu. So outside of that, we don't know. He was out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Came back Thursday, I believe. Practiced, said he felt great. Was out Friday, Saturday, Sunday with some illness again. They said he was curled up on the plane, basically moaning in pain. And when they landed, he didn't even know they had landed. And so all the players are like, well, this guy's not playing in the game because he obviously is not
I heard
doing
a
well.
theory that it was the McRib, actually.
Was that
That's like an actual thing.
was that theory started by Burger King or something?
It's out there on the yeah. No, I think because I got food poisoning from one too.
Interesting.
I mean, Lamar Jackson eats like a kid.
I'm sure.
All he eats is fast food.
But is food poisoning lasting? I mean, you said
He's not Tom Brady.
Listen,
He's not
it's
Tom
not
Brady
the first
eating,
time. It's not the first time that. How do I say this? politely,
we'll just
has kept him out of a game.
Okay, all right. Now,
his bowels have kept him out of a game?
What's your take on the rest of the NFL here? Is we move closer to the playoffs in about a month?
It's a very loaded
As
question.
long as Tom Brady doesn't make it, I'll be happy.
I mean, gonna make it. Make the playoffs or the Super Bowl?
Anything.
Okay.
When Tom Brady loses, it's a happy day. Is anybody else with me? Come on.
Well, I would be,
Thank
but
you.
you're arguably the front runner in the AFC. So, I mean, I would hope you'd strive for a little bit more.
The Ravens?
Yeah.
No, I mean, yes, I would like to say we're a front runner, but not if you
One
listen
of.
to Sports Talk Radio. Not one person would say that the Ravens are a front runner.
Well, nobody wants to
Apparently
win.
one would, and he's right here to my left. But
Everybody's trying not to win the AFC right now.
No,
so.
the AFC, the last 3 weeks, each of the number one
Yeah.
seeds in the AFC have lost to a terrible team.
Yeah.
You had the Bills go down to Miami and lose.
Right.
You had the Ravens Bills went to Jacksonville and lost. Ravens went to Miami and lost.
Yep.
And then this past week, the
Titans lost to the Texans.
Yeah, Titans lost to the Texans. So 3 weeks in a row, the number one seed in the AFC has lost to a terrible team.
And the number one seed is more valuable than it's ever been in the history of football, and everyone's just fighting to not get the number one seed right now. It doesn't make any sense.
And the Ravens,
and there's a lot of good teams in the AFC.
Well, the Ravens are a number 2 seed, but they have a really impossible schedule coming up.
Yeah.
They play the Browns, the Steelers, then the Browns again, and then I think they have the Rams. So
And-
they have a really tough schedule coming up. So they may be in the number 2 seed right now, but I don't see that continuing.
And we talked about it on the live stream. I didn't bring it up on air, but the Browns have the weirdest schedule quirk I've ever seen in that they're playing the Ravens this week, then they have a bye, then they're playing the Ravens again. So they're playing the Ravens 2 games in a row.
Yeah, it's
while
just
the
weird.
Ravens have a game in between, and the Browns will just spend that whole week while the Ravens play the Steelers, recapping and going over and game planning for the Ravens again. It's really, really weird.
I understand what y'all are saying about about the Browns and being a big part of that schedule, but does it not feel like the Browns are starting to come unglued
Oh,
again? Like
well,
the
they're-
Browns are starting to do the Cleveland Browns.
The
thing.
Browns are the Browns.
Like I mean, that franchise. Like now you're questioning Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham Jr. Obviously, everything that happened with him, and now he's off to the Rams.
Dude, this schedule is brutal. Steelers twice, Browns twice, Bengals, Packers, Rams.
Yeah, that's the Ravens schedule. The Packers, the Rams, and you could say what you want about the Bengals and the Browns, maybe not being as, but it's a division rival game.
Oh, yeah.
They get up for those games.
You've got 3 division road games left. You've all of your road games in the division
So,
left. That's going to be tough.
It's going to lead them to the if they win those, they're definitely a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
So
Well, you mentioned those 2 games, the Browns and the Bengals. You got Joe Burrow and Baker Mayfield, who could show up and be phenomenal, or they could show up and throw it to anybody that's not affiliated with their team. You really have no clue with those 2. Joe Pollock joining us. Appreciate you having us out.
hey, you guys got a lot of leftover food here, so
We
make
do,
sure
and
you eat more.
I'm dozing off as we're doing this. So I'm having a hard time. So
come on.
I've got a second wave in me.
And I've gotten about 7 text messages that apparently I'm just going to be inundated on Thursday with people bringing me
sweet
potatoes.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing
Good.
ever that you've never
Bring
had a
me
sweet
some
potato.
too.
Yeah, don't worry. It looks like I'm going to have plenty of leftovers. I've got a lot of people offering now to take care of, remedy this situation that I have of never having the casserole. Again, I've had the fries. Fries,
Yeah.
it's not much difference, right?
There's a lot different.
There's a lot of
I mean, sweet potato fries are amazing. That's what I
Agreed,
get
yeah.
when I'm out and about. But the mashed potato. I mean,
I've
mashed
never been a
potatoes
big
are different than French fries,
I've never
right?
been
So-
a big fan of sweet potato fries. I always feel like I should get it. I feel like it should have a different taste, and I'm always let down.
Oh, they're awesome.
Well, mashed sweet potatoes for Thanksgiving is the thing to do.
What does that mean? You think they should have a different taste? You probably don't know what they should taste like because
I
you've
feel
never
like
had sweet potatoes.
I feel like they should be sweeter.
I've never had sweet potato pie.
Good stuff.
Potato pies. I mean, anything sweet potatoes, in my opinion, is excellent.
Yeah.
It's way better than regular potatoes.
Agreed. 1,000%. If I go to steakhouse, I'm getting a sweet potato instead of a baked potato.
Cool.
I've always substituted sweet
I
potato
feel
for
like
baked
that's
potato.
a hot button topic there. Sweet potatoes better than
Baked
regular
potatoes?
potatoes. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a potato, but sweeter. There's no debate.
But do you on a sweet potato? Can you
put
butter
cinnamon and
sour-
butter? Yeah.
Yes.
You put
Of
cinnamon and
course.
butter.
The butter, the
Brown
cheese
sugar.
and-
Brown
See,
sugar,
you're
cinnamon,
brown
and butter.
sugar. You just said cinnamon and
No, if you go to steakhouse and you get a sweet potato, they're gonna
I
put
feel-
butter, brown sugar, and cinnamon on
I
it.
feel like what you're describing it as a dessert.
Well, it's
Bill.
That's
it comes as a side dish. You don't need
Yeah.
to spoil it. We can get side dish
That's-
and
that's
dessert
the
when you
point.
get mashed sweet potatoes.
That
There
is
you go.
That is
Smart
the beauty
man.
of the sweet potato, Bill.
We'll continue down this wild path here. Thank you for joining. Thank you for having us out.
No problem.
Thank you for having us out. Certainly appreciate it this morning, Joe Pollock joining us, and big NASCAR fan too, right? You're a NASCAR guy.
Well, yeah, I've been a NASCAR guy forever, but it's the last
It's
couple
good
of years.
to sit. It's
a
good to
couple
sit
of
with
years,
another NASCAR person
Uh,
here because usually I'm in studio.
Where's Jen? That's the NASCAR person, not
Is
you.
it? I
Thank
don't
you.
know. It's hard. It's hard to say when she doesn't win the picks contest ever.
Okay, the picks contest is luck.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you,
Bill has a
Joe.
good
You're my favorite.
handicapper That he
Jen would beat
I
you
pick-
in a trivia show about NASCAR
I
1,000 days out of 1,000
But she
days.
can't pick a driver to win the race better than I can. And,
It's
and
luck.
they hold me down. Her and Carrie Tharp every year hold me down. They make me pick third. They get the first two picks. So they have the option to select the best drivers. And as far as I know, unless
So
some
you get the
weird-
remaining one that they don't pick.
Exactly. Well, yeah.
So you didn't really make a pick. You
there's-
just get the leftovers.
Well, no, there's it's pretty much how it works at Thanksgiving at my house. I don't get the first meal, I get the leftovers. So it works well in my life. All right. Appreciate you having us.
Are you sure? Are you sure you're
Yeah,
glad you had
now
me?
we're done. Now we're done. Now it's good. Segment's ended. That's good. That's all we got for this segment. That's good. We'll do another segment next. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game. Tired of this nonsense about not being a NASCAR guru. I'm definitely a guru, and I'm probably just as tired as you are if you're having issues with muscles, ligaments, tissues, you got some inflammation, you're ready to get rid of it. I don't know how to get rid of this notion that I'm not a NASCAR guru, but I know how to help you get rid of those issues. If you're looking for a great pain management clinic, QC Kinetics is who you need to call. If you're tired of constant chronic pain, weary from the impact of limited mobility, and you're tired of addictive pain medications, call QC Kinetics today. 803-281-6860. All consultations are free. You need to give them a call and get your quality of life back. No steroids, no opioids. They are at the front of regenerative medicine. That's right. QC Kinetics. You can give them a phone call, get a free consultation, and let them work with you to help any pain you're currently experiencing in your muscles, ligaments, tissues. If you've got inflammation, if you've been told surgery is your only option, it's not the case. Call QC Kinetics today. 803-281-6860. It's a true game changer. Don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself. Call QC Kinetics today. 803-281-6860.
Like I started scratching stuff out. Yeah, I did the back. Lauren, and I got it last year for Christmas.
So heavy duty.
And I just now received it. So I don't know if they'll.
Lauren.
How are you? Hasn't been quite the morning. Jess about had the Hummer stolen.
Oh, stop it. Liar.
She did make a great new friend though. Josh sufficiently cover your guy's birthday? Morning. A little disoriented, but I'm getting there for this place. We're in a popular area. It feels like we had a lot of just like traffic, and then you got people coming up. I still never get used to it. Like they've got their cans, they're putting it in, but they're like, you know, you got people. You're trying to do a radio show, and people want to come up and talk to you. Again, Jess introduced us to a very interesting person who jumped on the air for a little while.
You could have vetted him too.
You're right. I've learned a lesson not to listen. It was better than he was.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'll take it and put it in the Hummer afterwards.
I'm honestly nice to see you again.
Hi, I'm Tammy.
Hi, Tammy Joe.
Nice to meet you. I'm gonna drop all this stuff off after the show.
Okay, good. So we do have some.
Yep, we got 7 goals.
Oh yeah. One person suggested we should have had a Carolina sticker, a Clemson sticker.
Oh, that would have been a great idea.
You know, and then but certainly just next year, or throw a sticker on there this afternoon. And, yeah. That's great. And tomorrow, that's great. And tomorrow,
This was not this color.
No, and that's why it's starting to peel. We're just
he's somewhere tomorrow.
Yeah, we're just trying to
Not
make
going in yet.
Not all. So
yeah, it does.
And I love this. Same on that side.
Yep, the whole thing. So yeah, come down here, during the games, and it's just mob with people, and it blends in well.
I totally did. I was like, wait a second.
All right, guys, Rip. You're good.
Bill Gunner, Patrick Perrette, live on location here at Bojangles. You can stop by and see us. We'll be here for about another 30 minutes. Who knows? At this point, I don't think we're moving anywhere very fast afterwards. We've had a lot to eat. We've had a lot to drink. We've had a really good time. We might just be sitting here for a few more hours.
I mean, we got to finish all this before we go.
Jess, get on in here. Get another Bowberry biscuit. I mean, if you're going to take the first one, you may as well take the second one. Jess, our wonderful promotions director, has been very helpful this morning, has lined up guests for us, has gotten some good food for us. We've had a really good time, a blast. You can stop by for about another 30 minutes and drop off. We've got some boxes here. If you bring a non-perishable food item, we're donating to the Harvest Hope Food Bank. A lot of big thanks to a lot of people who have stopped by, whether we've been able to talk to you or not. Saw my good friend Saki stop by just a little while ago. He wanted me to ask, what do I do with my phone? He had a question. We were on air, but he wanted me to ask you. He had his Ohio State pullover on. Do you see his Ohio State? You see the guy who came in with the Ohio State pullover? He had his Ohio State pullover. He said he gave AC. He wanted to ask Patrick if he thinks his Ohio State boys can hang with Georgia and Alabama.
No. Alabama, yes. Georgia, no. I picked Georgia before the season, and I'm just going to keep riding that. And Georgia's the best team in the country, and it's not close right now. Ohio State, Alabama would be a very fun game to watch, though.
What is the game right now as we kind of count down to the two teams that you want to see play? Is there
the most?
Because I kind of agree with him on Ohio State. I don't know if Ohio State and Georgia can – I don't know if Ohio State can hang with Georgia, but I feel like if someone's going to give Georgia a game, it's going to be Ohio State. I feel like Ohio State would be the team.
Oh, I don't know. I actually do think that it's not – if you asked me 2 weeks ago, honestly, if you asked me last week, I probably would tell you that it's Georgia and Alabama, 1-2, and then there's a bit of a gap, and then maybe Ohio State's in that next category. Ohio State's playing ridiculously good football right now, and that offense can score. I mean, I do think that offense can kind of score on anybody. I'm kind of with you in the fact that I would really like to see those three superstar wide receivers for Ohio State go up against Georgia. CJ Stroud can play against pressure. That offensive line is actually very good for Ohio State. I think Ohio State could actually score that's the type of team that could get it to the 30s against Georgia.
Well, and that's why I think as we kind of start to head toward you'll have rivalry weekend this weekend. Next weekend you got championship weekend. So obviously a couple games here that will determine the order of the college football playoff. But I think as we sit here today on Tuesday, Georgia and Ohio State in my book are 1 and 2. I don't know if Ohio State will tonight. You'll get the new college football playoff rankings out. You have Alabama at home. Arkansas was ranked, but they win 42-35. The defense had to look a little suspect there. And then you had Ohio State against a ranked Michigan State team, and they blow them out of the water 56-7. Any chance Ohio State leapfrogs Alabama tonight and moves into that number 2 spot?
Yes, I think there is a chance. I would, if I was voting, I would probably vote for them to leapfrog Alabama right now, because that would put. I mean, basically, Alabama will still have a chance to be the SEC championship winner. Will be the number 1 seed in the college football playoff. So I was going to say the only chance Ohio State's going to end up playing Georgia is if they meet in the national championship game. But if Alabama can beat Georgia in 2 weeks, I would assume that Alabama will be the number 1 seed. And then Ohio State and Georgia will be 2 and 3, and it would be one of the best semifinal matchups we've had in a long time.
I do, yeah. I mean, certainly, I think the more we kind of talk about it, if you can get Ohio State and Georgia in the national championship game, I feel like that's where we're kind of heading.
But I equally want to see Ohio State play Alabama.
Do you?
I mean, I think those will both just be incredible games, yeah.
I after watching what Arkansas was able to do to Alabama's pass defense, I think, and you go back and you watch Zach Calzada and what he was able to do, I think Ohio State would end up having the way. Alabama looks a little flawed right now.
Yeah. And
I'm not sure exactly. I mean, for a team with as many 5 stars, I don't know if we're trying to compare Alabama.
Well, I think Georgia's the only team that's not flawed. Ohio State's flawed on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
They have been for a couple years now. I mean, we think of them as this high-powered defense because of the Bosas and Chase Young, and they have NFL superstars, but they haven't been just consistently dominant on defense in years. I think Georgia's maybe the only team that's not flawed. But I guess you could say that at the quarterback position, there's something to be desired. They still don't have a ton of stability there. They don't really know what they're doing. But they're the most well-rounded team, and it's really not close, I don't think, right now.
803-404-6100 if you want to weigh in this morning on anything. And of course, I think maybe the hottest topic we've had so far here is a sweet potato casserole. A lot of people were weighing in on that. Patrick, you got any comments that stood out in particular? Because as you pointed out, there was a lot of people on the sweet potato casserole argument. Also, our buddy Joe Pollock, a lot of people not agreeing with his sides. Guys, I think got called out a little bit for that. You got to have turkey. Ham, I believe, is in there as well, but you got to have the turkey for your.
I don't think that has to be the case.
Well, Sonny did say the best comment I have actually seen is Sonny saying the turkey is symbolic of Thanksgiving, but I didn't start eating it with Thanksgiving dinner until 12 years ago when I started frying them.
Okay,
It's deep fried or nothing. I actually agree with that. If you just bake a turkey in the oven, it's going to be dry. It's not going to be that great. You're dousing it in gravy so that it tastes good.
Well, then you're not cooking it correctly because it shouldn't be dry. So, but I still prefer the turkey for the leftovers. To me, there's a lot more that you can do with it, post
Are y'all
Thanksgiving.
more of the because you just said the leftover? You can create a turkey sandwich on Thanksgiving, right? Like, or is that blasphemous to just go ahead and take the roll and cut it open and put the turkey with the gravy on there?
Once it's blasphemous.
Because I feel like that's a leftover dish that people are only. Yeah, Joe says leftovers. I think is that part of it? You can't do the turkey sandwich during the Thanksgiving dinner.
I don't see why you couldn't.
I don't see why you can't.
I mean, I'm with you guys. I just feel like how many relatives have you seen sit down for the what I guess we will call the original Thanksgiving dinner? There's always the first plate, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
The first plate, whether you're sitting at a big dining room table with all the family members, or whether you're sitting around the football, around the television there on your couch. That's the first plate is the original Thanksgiving.
It's turkey.
And then after that, you're just grazing.
It's turkey, 2 potatoes, sweet and mashed, green bean casserole, and then stuffing / dressing.
Dressing, noodles.
Noodles? What?
Noodles, yeah.
What kind of noodles?
Like egg noodles and chicken broth.
With what? What do you just
Wait,
noodles on the side?
You say egg noodles and chicken broth? Isn't that just soup?
Well, yeah, but it's noodles because it's not quite as thin as soup. But I'll put like the dressing in the noodles, so like it's carboholic. But no, it's good stuff. You have to have noodles.
Joe can't hear you, but Jen is telling us that egg noodles and
chicken broth,
and there's a specific brand of egg noodles.
Puts the dressing inside of it.
Well, that's just me, but
that sounds like a leftover thing.
I mean, it sounds like it would taste good, but where did the noodles come from?
I don't know.
Where the noodles come from?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a Southern Indiana thing. That's where my mom's from. So, but yeah, we always have noodles, green beans, mashed potatoes.
Very specific Southern Indiana thing. The egg noodles.
I have no idea.
On Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I mean, I love a good egg noodle. Don't get me wrong.
That's a leftover thing.
Yeah.
No.
I would agree.
Let's see here. A couple anonymous texter weighs in. He says, "Try smoking a turkey and smoking the sweet potato casserole. Game changer."
What?
Okay.
Smoking sweet potatoes? I don't even really understand what smoking is. I mean, I get the idea, but I don't know what it would accomplish with a casserole.
You'd have a nice film or crust to the outside topping of that.
Okay. I like that. I do like that.
Chef Boyardee Joe.
Yeah.
I mean, the sweet potato casserole, I do try to cheat a little bit and scoop across the top and then drop down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Get a little more of the topping. Yeah.
And John weighs in again on the Cool Care Heating and Air text line, says the way to go for our Thanksgiving, it's been this way for years, is brining your turkey the night before. That way your turkey stays nice and moist in the oven. Always my mom's green bean casserole with French cut green beans. So it's and then warm bacon dressing over the top and baked with onion rings on top where they did have So I don't know how that's a lot of stuff involved.
Wow.
In that.
I don't know how the French cut their baked beans, or their green beans, but
that right there, Bill, is exactly why you put the bread to the side. You were saying about making a sandwich.
Making the sandwich?
Because the bread's going to fill you up more. What do you want? You want to have more of those sides, or you want to have one sandwich?
To be honest, I don't even always put the roll on my plate.
Yeah, that fills you up too much. I want the sweet potatoes, and I want the green beans, and I want all that stuff.
And I it's funny what brings people together. because, and I'm going to call him my good friend, even though he never agrees with me, and he's a Clemson fan, and this is an official invite to my tailgate for him on this coming Saturday. He's in town. Ray and Bowman, who text
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
He sends a lot of texts. But we've agreed on something. He's not a fan of sweet potatoes.
But it's not even
that.
that.
I feel like this is the Pilgrims and the Indians coming together. Me and Ray and
I
Bowman,
wouldn't
who
have
sends
said a
lot of text
word.
messages. He can now.
But
come
that
to my
wasn't
tailgate.
that wasn't the issue. If you didn't like sweet potatoes, that's one thing. You've
Yes.
never in your life had a sweet potato.
I'm pretty sure they've been. I'm sure at some point. I've had
107.5 the game. What's your name?
39 years of living, someone has tried this, but it was not a moment that stood
If
out.
your buddy is saying he doesn't like them,
Thank you.
you're
Yeah.
saying you
Thank
don't
you.
either. Like you've never had them. So we need to change that. And then if you come back and say
They're just
you don't
so
like them,
involved.
then you're just weird.
Matt in West Columbia says mac and cheese casserole is a must. I don't
No,
know
it's
if mac
just
and
not.
cheese casserole is any different than mac and cheese. I don't.
It's probably just baked a little longer.
That might be a little bit different. So and Chris weighs in. He is fixing to tear up a Cajun filet biscuit.
Good job.
So there you go.
Good job. Thank you.
We've Patrick had a sausage biscuit and a Cajun filet biscuit within the first 45 minutes of us being here this morning. So it's been quite the show. It's been quite the episode. We'll continue rolling along. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game. Yes, it is certainly that time of year to save some money. You want to save some for Christmas presents, certainly. And you know what? If you haven't been contacting Benji Getsy and Buford Lending regarding refinancing and saving some money on your interest rates on your mortgage loan, now is the time to do it. Benji Getsy and Buford Lending, as he likes to tell you, why would you call Wall Street? The rates on Bay Street are better. So now is the time to get in touch with Benji Getsy and his team at Buford Lending and see what they can talk about and how they can help you. 843-524-2404. Again, it's 843-524-2404. These refinancing opportunities are saving clients an average of $300 to $500 per month. So if you haven't called to see what Benji and his team can do for you, what are you doing? Why would you miss out on a golden opportunity? Let Benji and his experienced staff earn your business today with a free evaluation anytime, day or night. 843-524-2404. That's Buford Lending and Benji Getsy. There we go. Oh yeah, no, but I just got on the Facebook page something about less food talk, more sports talk.
Who was it?
It said something. I don't know how to get to the message on my.
Of course.
Switch account. Here we go.
Just read it.
How about less talk about food and more just a thought. So I'm going to assume that's not a real person.
We can scroll through.
Look at their profile.
Well, that's why I was going to go back. And
We can scroll through and just see all these comments from the last 15 minutes. Everybody getting involved. A million text messages, but Bill gets a message on the station Facebook page. saying, how about more sports talk, less food talk?
I've been saying since September the Gamecocks are going to beat Clemson this year. And as the season went on and on, it looked more and more possible. And then last week happened, and I was like, crap, Clemson figured something out. I was like, oh.
Yeah,
They do look like they kind of course.
On both ends, though.
I really thought the whole. I mean, and I still think the Gamecocks can win because they're a different team at home for sure. But
Well, I
yeah,
think that's the
season
thing
long,
is,
right?
I think most Gamecock fans feel like they can win the game. They just don't know if they will win the game. Like it's it's like, hey, we got it this year. We got a chance. A little bit different. I don't know if we'll win the game. Just totally different kind of mindset.
Well, but it was the same thing in Florida and Auburn. Yeah. People were like, yeah, we can win, but we're not going to. And then we went out and showed them we can play. And at home, I'm telling you, either Auburn or Florida, we don't win those games away from home.
I mean, being out at the Florida game, people were not confident that day. They were there to have fun, but there was very little confidence within.
The celebration after the Auburn game, like leaving the stadium, was people were nuts. Yeah. Way more than the Florida one. But I will say, I was a little disappointed with the attendance. That upper deck was empty.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell the upper. I couldn't see the upper deck.
The upper deck was empty, and that's why he said, we need you guys to fill the stadium because it wasn't full. Yes, it was loud, but it wasn't full.
It will, yeah. I mean, it will be Saturday. I think everyone got some grades because it would have been just a double gut punch if all the marbles are on the Clemson game for bowl eligibility, for ending the streak and everything. Then you lose the game, you're not going to bowl. You lost to Clemson again at home. Everybody's going home sad. Like now you've locked up the bowl, and you're almost playing with house money.
Yeah, there's way less urgency. Yeah. But it's still
you still want this more than anything.
Yeah.
What? We're about to drop the Tiger across the street. Look out window in a few minutes.
There's the burn thing last night. It's right there.
That was right there, bro. Oh, so
they've already dropped it.
Oh, I see them out there.
Yeah. Did they just text you?
Well, they did it at 8:06. So
Oh. All right, but about to head back in. Nice and early. Well done. Look at you being on time.
Are we going all the way to the end? Or are we going to break?
very, very disoriented.
Mute you.
This afternoon, 4 to 7 p.m., you can join Heath Klein as he broadcasts live from the Loose Cockaboose located at 936 South Stadium Road in Columbia, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's just down the road from here, so you can join Heath Klein, hang out with him, the Loose Cockaboose. Again, we're collecting donations for the Harvest Hope Food Bank, so you can bring non-perishable food items and help us here at 107.5 The Game beat hunger. The Whiskey Kitchen and the Loose Cockaboose thank everyone for their support in donating canned goods to Harvest Hope. Again, go visit Heath Klein today, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. over at the Loose Cockaboose, 936 South Stadium Road in Columbia. Boy, a lot of you weighing in here on Chad saying it's Tuesday. Love the food debates. Mark saying all the biscuit and Thanksgiving talk. He is drooling. A lot of you weighing in on the sweet potato casserole take. Let's see, one person saying they don't know what is wrong with meat. That was Joey from Sumter. Said sweet potato casserole, candied yams, whatever you want to call it. Absolutely disgusting. But it is a staple in the South for Thanksgiving, so I'm not sure what's up.
It's not a staple in the South. It's just a staple. It's not a I don't think it's a Southern thing.
Yeah, it could be. Okay.
Me. Yeah, I'm not from the South.
All right. So it's just all over. It's all over. And then right behind us, Patrick, we opened the show talking about this, and I got this text, anonymous texter here back at about 8:06. He said we were about to drop the Tiger across the street. He says, look out the window in a few minutes. I didn't get around to reading that text now until almost 40 minutes later, but apparently last night, Joe was telling us they did Tiger Burn right
Yeah.
across the street there.
I saw videos of it. Yeah.
Was there?
Yeah, it's on all the Gamecock social media pages.
Jen, have you ever been before? You've been around here for a while. Have you ever been to the Tiger Burn?
What'd you
Like at our
burn?
high school. When we played our rival, Bishop Mac, we used to burn.
Principal's car. They burned the principal's car. I feel
Okay,
like where
you
Jen
know,
is the prankster.
You burned the bishop?
No, we just had some kind of a character, that we burned, but
okay.
that was a big thing up there. So, but I've never been to this, but I have seen videos for the past couple of years, and man, they do it up serious.
Yeah.
Patrick, you never went as a
No, I've never been.
I think when I was younger, my father took me once. I say I think. I know that. I remember.
That makes me feel less bad about having never been because you've been a Gamecock fan for 39 years.
Yeah,
I've been here for 5.
I think it depends. It depends. It's more of I don't know if it's.
I think
more of
I thought it was a
college
student thing. Yeah,
more of a student thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but certainly last night that takes place. Saturday night, 7:30, Williamsburg Stadium, just about a punt away from where we're at here at the Bojangles on Bluff Road.
with a roll.
You can come by and hang out with it. Punt with a roll.
Punt with a roll. Yeah,
I
nice
don't know,
bounce.
What's the famous
a friendly bounce.
83-yard punt
or a San Diego State punt.
Yeah.
Punt
pass it. Joe says punt pass.
But San Diego State does currently have the greatest punter in college football history. So
all right, Saturday night. We'll continue talking about this tomorrow and Friday, but certainly a lot of things have been brought up regarding the game, Patrick, and one of those is, again, South Carolina's offense being able to navigate the Clemson defense and how they go about doing that. Certainly the ways Zaquandre White has played of late. You're the kind of our draft guy. He's going to have 2 more college games. He needs the bowl game. He can't opt out of the bowl game. There's not a player on this football team who can opt out of the bowl game.
No, JJ
Barry, yes. And I think maybe so. Maybe Saturday night, the last time you see JJ Barry in a South Carolina uniform.
I hope not. I don't think so.
But how does Zaquandre White and Josh Vann factor into this game? The run game and the pass game.
Into this game or into the NFL draft?
No,
discussion?
well, I was going to say Zaquandre White in terms of the NFL. Can he play his way into, say?
I think he can, because even if he doesn't get drafted, the NFL is such that they just fly through running backs. Like, even if he doesn't get drafted, he'll be on a roster, or not a roster necessarily, but he'll be on a camp roster. He'll have a chance to earn his way in there. He'll probably make it to a practice squad or something along those lines. And running backs just get hurt so frequently. And I mean, how many running backs have the Ravens gone through this year? Like 6, 7 running backs, something ridiculous like that. He's better than – is Zaquandre White better than Tyson Williams? I'm pretty sure he is, because we were looking at Tyson Williams as the starting running back for the Ravens week 1 saying, what? Sorry.
No, it's not you. I keep finishing.
Okay. We were looking at Tyson Williams being the starting running back for the Ravens week 1 and saying, what the heck? He was never impressive in a South Carolina uniform. Like, he had, a 100-yard game. Didn't really seem to do anything special. So if he can do it, Zaquandre White can be an NFL running back. He's dual threat. He can catch and he can run. He's super dynamic. He has everything that you want from an NFL running back right now. So, yeah, I think he'll make it. Josh Vann, I have absolutely no idea. He's really been on a hot streak with 3 touchdowns in a row, but he's not – I mean, he hasn't been lighting the world on fire. He's not like a 10-catch-a-game guy. He's not – I don't know. It's maybe I'm just, like, skewed because you see some of the numbers that these Ohio State guys or the Alabama guys, Jameson Williams, or some of these freaks are putting up where it's just every single game it's 150 yards and 2 touchdowns like clockwork. He's not that, but that doesn't mean he's not – late day 3 draftable.
I think the interesting thing was Shi Smith. You had seen
Shi Smith was putting up huge numbers.
Glimpses of production in 3 years. It hadn't been consistent, but you had seen some production here and there. It had kind of come up, and that's why we had that debate last year. And I said, look, I've seen enough from Shi Smith to believe he can be wide receiver number 1. And lo and behold, he went out and obviously upped his stock and ended up being picked by the Panthers. There was nothing prior to this year for Josh Vann. No, there was nothing that led you to believe that this was coming on. And this is the work, in my opinion. Josh Vann's put in the work. He's done what is necessary, but it is the coaching ability of Justin Stepp and his developing of Josh Vann. And I think with Josh Vann only coming on the show, I wonder if he needs another year. If NFL scouts will look at him, because he does have an extra year. If he wants to utilize last year's COVID year, he can do that next year and come back. And I'll be honest, Josh Vann back, if you continue to see development from Jason Brown, if you get Zaquandre White back, I don't know how the running back room is going to play out, but you feel a lot better about the offense maybe in 2022.
Yeah, I mean, if he's just desperate to get out of college and has his degree and just doesn't want to be there anymore, then fine. I mean, go test your luck. But I can't imagine anyone advising him saying this is the time for you to go pro. Like, no, come back next year. A team that's going to have a little bit of preseason buzz. You're going to have preseason buzz. Maybe you're not going to be all SEC preseason, but people will know your name. You'll come in, and if you can match what you did this year, then you'll have an opportunity to go pro. But yeah, you've been here for 4 years, and you've had 1 year of just like jump off the charts production. If you can replicate that one more time, then you've shown that this was not the outlier. This season was not the outlier, and yeah, you can build your stock from there. I don't think this is the year. I don't think that he would get drafted, but it's not outside the realm of possibility.
Who's coordinating the offense next year certainly will be a topic after Saturday
Who's playing
night.
quarterback?
And
I mean, he's caught a touchdown in every game Jason Brown started. So
yeah, that'll be something that we'll get into. Wrapping up the program here, yes, somebody anonymous texter weighed in. Don't know if I missed it, but make sure you give a shout out to the Lady Gamecocks handling business and beating number 2 UConn. Yeah, we mentioned that. We talked a little bit about that earlier. Again, yesterday afternoon, South Carolina number 1, UConn number 2, a 1-versus-2 showdown in the Dawn Staley's group rolls 73-57 after falling behind early. An absolute whipping of Connecticut. First win for Dawn Staley against Connecticut in a 1-versus-2 matchup. Obviously, they beat them a few years ago. We'll get a rematch of that January 27th here at Colonial Life Arena. And we've had a couple people asking. We did it once, but we'll do it again. Newberry College. Congratulations to them. They beat the defending Division II national champions in the first round of the playoffs last Saturday in Pensacola. They are heading off to Bowie State in Bowie, Maryland on Saturday. So congratulations to Newberry College as well around the state. Tonight, Patrick, quickly, South Carolina men's basketball back in action. They'll host Wofford, Colonial Life Arena, 7 o'clock. You can hear it right here on 107.5 The Game. Again, we said it, not a game that people will talk about if they win. It is a game that people talk about if they lose. That's not really fair, but that's how college basketball works. Another opportunity for Frank Martin's team to come together, to gel, and try and pick up a good victory.
and you're coming off a really good win against the UAB team that has been scoring like crazy, and you held them to, 63 points? 63 points? Is that what it was? 60?
66, 63.
60, 63. So you held them to 63 points, 30-something points below their average. If you can build off of this, you're one game away from getting your best player back. A.J. Wilson seems like he's going to be a big part of this lineup going forward, so it's your first glimpse of watching him. How about go out there and dominate somebody? That would be nice. We'll talk about it if they dominate. If you squeak by Wofford, people aren't going to be necessarily thrilled, but a win's a win. Just don't lose these games. It's that type of the season where if you can pick up a win, just do it. Just no more bad losses on the schedule. We can't have that anymore. Go out there, take care of business.
Wofford tonight, Ryder on Sunday. We'll get into that Wofford South Carolina game tomorrow as well, continuing to break down South Carolina versus Clemson this coming Saturday night, 7:30. You can obviously continue to weigh in with predictions and everything. Big thanks to Joe having us out, talking about sweet potato casserole. It's an enlightening segment that we'll carry on tomorrow. You might want to call in, Joe. Thank you to Bojangles for having us out this morning, for feeding us. We have had a blast. Big thanks to our promotions director, Jess Frank, for being out here to take care of us. Thank you to everybody who stopped by and donated to Harvest Hope Food Bank. We appreciate it. We got to see so many people. York, Allen, Coach Derek Moore stopping by. Big thank you to everybody. Y'all have a wonderful Tuesday. You've been listening to Early Game on 107.5 The Game.
What's your ultimate game day experience? A tricked out pancake? Deluxe tailgate? Then enter the 5-Hour Energy Football Sweepstakes for a chance to win $10,000 and make your ultimate game day experience a reality. To enter, buy any 5-Hour Energy product and upload the receipt. It's that easy. The 5-Hour Energy Football Sweepstakes. Enter today.
Can't hear anything. I can hear you guys. Can't hear anything. Oh. I guess we're done. Yes, Perry will be on next week in case anybody can't hear. I'm so confused. All right. See everybody tomorrow. Perry Orth next week. It's just us, man. See you guys.